What's up, everyone? This is The Goods. Welcome to episode number 3, Trace. Episode Trace.
Yep.
With a very good friend of mine that I've known for a long time now. I can't, every time that, with Curdy and then Drew, I was like, oh man, I've known you for 10 years. And
I've known you for 4 or
Me?
5.
Yeah, 5. I
Like
guess
that,
around
yeah.
5 now. Yeah, probably close to 5. I don't know. But yeah, welcome to The Goods, Colin
Thanks,
Beckford.
man.
Yeah,
Glad to be here.
Thanks for joining me.
Of course.
Colin goes to school in Drexel, which is in West Philadelphia. If you look at a map, it's on the west side of the Schuylkill River. So he lives over by the Art Museum, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Technically, it's the biggest structural landmark, 30th Street Station, technically. But
Right.
lives in a super cool area of town. So it's pretty easy to get this guest to come over.
Sure.
But again, thank you for joining me, Colin.
Absolutely, man.
It's been quite the fiasco to film tonight. Just like with Curdy's episode. Every episode right now is a bit of an experimentation because I'm trying to get the audio perfect for everyone, and I'm learning a little bit more every time. It's still going to be good this episode, not as good as I want it to be, but it's coming very soon.
It's the thought that counts, you know?
It's the thought that counts, the effort that counts, yeah. And we get set up, and I have my air conditioner running the whole time that we're setting up, and then I would turn it off when we're testing audio for a couple minutes, and then finally we have it turned off, we're ready to record. And then all of these flies from around my house that weren't in the room because there's a constant stream of air would suddenly just infiltrate the room and just be attracted to all these lights. I literally have 7 lights around me now, but yeah, it was crazy. So I literally we get set up and then I'm like, shit, we gotta go to Target and get bug spray and take care of this, or else it's just not. There's another one right now. Oh my god.
Yeah, right here. There we go.
It's okay. If it lands on the lens, I swear to God.
It will. Just wait.
I'm gonna drink a beer, drinking a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
Chico Classic.
Yeah, Chico Classic. That's what I was gonna. It's a good conversation piece to bring up. Have you ever been to Chico?
Once. Yeah.
In
I went
2013?
to. No, 2014. It was the last NASA was there, so.
2014?
Yep.
Okay. Were you on Duncan by that point?
Yes, that was
sweet.
right when I joined Duncan.
I feel like I had to have been at Nats that year.
You won that year.
I did. Did I?
Yep. Yeah, I remember you won that year.
That's funny. Yeah, okay, I did in that year. I'm trying to think. Someone talked about punching a hole through something earlier today, and I remembered right before Nationals one year, I was dating this girl at the time, and I got into a super heated argument with her, and then walked out of the room and punched a hole through a closet door. But it wasn't, it was on some total rage, Kyle Monster Energy bullshit. But
I was just gonna say something.
yeah, Kyle. But I was just on some other shit and ripped all the skin off a bunch of my knuckles. It must have been 2012 or whatever, because it was when I won.
No, the first,
the second
time
again, yeah, the earlier time. So that's a funny, not a funny story, but also a funny story. But
minor setback for a major comeback. You know?
Yeah, it's not. I want to say what Aaliyah would say: dust yourself off and try again. Well, I don't know who said it's not how you lose, but how you recover. Yeah, you can rage quit like Kyle and then come back and be national yo-yo champion. And that was the first year I donated my yo-yo to the museum. Yeah, I think that was my only time donating it. Do you know anyone? I guess everyone else probably donates theirs. Yeah, Mike Knock.
He did. Yeah, I think Alex does still every
Alex
year.
Definitely does.
Gentry probably does too.
That was an
I'm
inside
sure.
joke amongst all of us when we were younger, because Yuki was never gonna donate his, or Miggy would donate it, and it wouldn't be the Genesis used on stage or
use a
whatever.
backup or something,
yeah,
right?
exactly. It goes on stage.
That makes sense. So. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's just every time the way that Bob, the guy who starts the museum, kind of he'll approach you, and he'll give you shit when you register or whatever, and if you do one thing wrong or you register late or so whatever, which is understandable. Not that he gives you shit, but whatever. But then when you win, he'll be like, "Oh, it's a tradition that you donate the yo-yo," and you're like, "God damn it!"
Just more of a negative return of investment.
Yeah, exactly. I already spent a bunch of money. I never even thought of it that way. Damn, I'm sure Yuki or Miggy made that joke previously, but yeah, that's hilarious. So going back even before 2014, then how long had you been yo-yoing for at that point? And you said you weren't on Duncan by that point? You were.
No, that was like right when I got on.
Right when
So
you got
I
on,
started like May 2011, so it was like 3 years into yo-yo
Okay.
at that point.
That's more of a traditional path to sponsorship now, because now people try to get people so early that
It's true.
you're good, and then 6 months later, a company's, a smaller brand is like, oh, we'll start giving you yo-yos. And it's like, oh, cool, I'm sponsored, and then...
I was thinking about that, like, it took me, like, because, like, as soon as I started yo-yo, I was like, Duncan is, like, my favorite company, because I was, like, I grew up in Cleveland and stuff, like, I was around those people.
The Chico, or not Chico.
Or Cleveland stuff.
Chico. Cleveland YoYo Club, yeah.
Right, yeah.
So... When you started in 2011, that was already established, and
yeah, for like
that's rad.
At least 2 years probably when I started.
And then, so that was like easy for you to go to, and it was like pretty poppin' when you started, right? There was
they
probably
had
like
meetings like twice a week, like
12, 13
thinking about
people.
Right, yeah, it's crazy. Honestly, thinking back about it,
it really is, cause like, now I'm going to Tiki Tiki, 10 people is like, damn, it's really popping this week. But that was probably once a week. I was like, wow, this is 13 people are meeting.
Yeah, for real. And they also just like, I don't know. It's just like thinking back about it, like Cleveland YoYo Club's not around anymore, but it's interesting. They were like one of few yo-yo retail stores, like physical retail stores in the U.S.
I never thought about
that.
Like
they only sold yo-yos pretty much, from what I remember. Like not many.
Yeah.
Maybe no other skill toys.
Your dad would probably know more than us, but I think they got like some kind of grant or something in the city.
Something
like it did cost a little bit of money, but like it was like $200 a month or something super minimal.
Something like that.
And there was like 13 kids there that like everyone was kind of buying pretty regularly. So I was like, oh man.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm sure Brandon was getting the Duncan yo-yos like even cheaper because he worked for them. I never even thought about that.
Yeah,
but that's a great little side business.
Right.
Like, if you're going to make any money off yo-yo, it's like,
might as well run a retail store,
Yeah, exactly. If you have the opportunity, and you got all these kids. So, and that ran until when? Like
2013. So, yeah, like April 2013, I think. So, like, a little bit under 2 years.
And then did they still do it afterwards, the club? Or?
There's, like, meetings every now and then, like, just, like, out in Cleveland somewhere, but... Actually, it's kind of an on and off thing still, I think.
Right.
Because, like, I'm not in Cleveland anymore, but I think...
the Learning Express, if you're wondering.
Yeah.
Cleveland. I'll put a link in the description, I guess, about Cleveland yo-yo.
I don't know if they're doing meetings now, because Steve has been busy with Worlds and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, it's kind of an
maybe this will inspire Josh Broke. I know he loves
that would be cool.
So he'll reinvigorate the club and get it going again.
It'd be awesome, honestly.
Yeah, because it's so important for... I was just going to literally parallel into this until, also talking about Josh, but it like brings people into the scene. I think Josh might have even kind of started during that club originally or whatever. He came a couple times or knew about yo-yoing through that somehow or something. Maybe, I don't know, don't quote me on that, but he like, just like you said, like 13 people were going or whatever, and it's like, it kept a lot of people yo-yoing and really active.
I attribute like all of my like, I would say that like as a yo-yoer I like was very into, and I progressed like pretty rapidly for like how little I was yo-yoing, just like kind of noticing the results and stuff. But like it's definitely all because of being able to just go and meet with people and like learn twice a week. Like that's huge. Like,
and Trick Circle like has really diminished the amount of time people put into like the quality of content.
Yeah.
And like that used to be a way people would get like inspired to yo-yo and shit, is like in full length videos if you didn't have a yo-yo club.
Right.
Because you only have to aspire what you can access. So it's like if you didn't have broadband internet in the early 2000s, you really couldn't get these videos. And now it's like everyone has a smartphone, everyone has Instagram. All you gotta do is look at the hashtag, and then you see all these people, and then you're just emulating Polo, emulating whoever else is in Trick Circle, right? So it's very easy for you to love. Not easy, it still takes work, but like people have a wider frame of reference to level up now versus back in 2013. Even it's like Instagram existed, but it wasn't like
that was
it is
like right
now.
when people started posting tricks.
Yeah,
right
so
when they
it's
even
like,
had videos on Instagram.
Yeah,
like,
it's kind of crucial you even had that club beyond, because like
for real,
if you just found yo-yos, who knows how good you would have gotten. Just chilling
I mean,
I
was so lucky because like I got a yo-yo, and like I didn't even have the thought for this. Like it was something my mom did. She looked up like Cleveland plus yo-yo. I was like, why are you putting plus in the search?
And it just
and like Cleveland
She's
Yo-Yo
like, that's
Club.
what it does. Like, you read the URL, that's what it says.
And like Cleveland Yo-Yo Club like actually was a thing, and I was like, wow, like that's not very likely for that to happen. So it was like a very lucky coincidence, honestly.
That's hilarious.
Like, it's crazy how that stuff works out.
It is super lucky. I was the same way with Yo-Yo Joe's. Or not, well, it was Mitchell's before Yo-Yo Joe's, but This is so funny because I was like skateboarding hardcore,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, I bet they'll like give me a discount on yo-yos or something if I like go in and I'm like kind of good. So like, I kind of like started to make like a sponsor me tape almost, and was like, oh, I'm gonna like go in and like show them all this footage, and I just like went in and like they already gave everyone like a discount just because coming to yo-yo club.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, all right, cool. And they're like, you're really good. You have like so many old yo-yos though. Like, what is this? Like,
who are you?
Yeah, exactly. Like, why do you have all these? And like the guy who owned the store was super excited. I was there and I instantly started learning tricks. But just because you have that frame of reference, to
it's
be
so
like,
awesome.
Oh wow, this is how you get good. Like, so you were on a yo-yo club for like 2 years before you got on Duncan. Did you get on Duncan right after Cleveland Yo-Yo Club ended,
No.
or right before it ended?
Nah, I didn't get on Duncan until fall 2014, so like right before US Nats
That's
that
so
year.
crazy.
Yeah, I was like.
And you were still pretty good during all this, right? Because I kind of remember Brandon making some videos with you in like 2012, 2013 before you got on Duncan.
Yeah, like I don't know. I was like thinking earlier about
Was
this.
he flowing you yo-yos? He bro
Kinda.
flowing you yo-yos?
Like honestly, yeah, pretty much.
See,
like I was
super cheap, like $25 Metropolises or
Yeah.
whatever. It's like, yeah, here, kid. Like, here's a whole box of them. Like, do your thing. Like,
it's funny how realistic that is.
yeah, like
you're
if
right.
some kid asked me for 6
You're
first bases
like-
and they were as active as you were and let me film them, so yeah, I'd be like, here, sure. Like,
yeah, I mean, I was like super young too. Like
Yeah.
that time I was like 11, 12, 13, 14. Like it made sense, and like I don't know. It's just interesting. Like I'm surprised. Like thinking back on it, like it's not very like I don't think in 2019 like many kids would like try to get on a team for 3 years.
or wait that long.
Yeah, like I was like, it's weird that I like waited that long, honestly, but
It was
I
a
don't know.
different
Things were
time.
just different. Yeah,
Yeah.
things were just different. So, like, I don't know. It's interesting how like social media
There's
and
like a
stuff like
strong
that speeds things up
local
with people.
loyalty.
Right,
Like,
of course.
when I first started yo-yoing and I was going to Yo-Yo Club at Mitchell's, and AJ, the guy who was our local yo-yo celebrity, was on Yo-Yo Jam
Right.
for like year and a half straight. I tried to get on not tried to get on Yo-Yo Jam, but I was like, oh, this is the jam.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try, not for no pun intended, but like, oh,
For
this
real.
is the jam. Like, I'm gonna try to get on Yo-Yo Jam, and then eventually like John Robb put it in perspective for me. He's like, you really think they're gonna add 2 5A dudes that live in the same state, go to the same yo-yo club? I'm like, well, Eric and Andre. He's like, but you're not Eric, and you're not Andre. And I'm like, that's a good point. Like, I should really try to diversify a little bit. So like, started using Duncan yo-yos, and like, they weren't even really better. It was just like, we started to get like, once you're, I don't know if this is true for you too. Like, what was your yo-yo influence like at the time? Like, I'm sure you were involved with the community, but because you had people like Brandon around, was he like, oh, go check out Sector Y and watch the old videos?
No, early on, I would probably say like yo-yo influence. I probably got most of that stuff through Darnell, really, because like he like probably taught me like the most as far as like.
But he's
1A.
super into like Spencer Berry and like weird people like that. So like you had, I know you have like a lot of like Shockwave and Magic Drop inspired influence tricks and like just a bunch of cool shit
true.
that like is, I don't know, I could just tell that like you had certain influences early on that like someone was kind of like recommending you earlier, because it's not just stuff you come across in this day and age of
That's
like,
true. I feel like
not
that
a lot
was,
of people are recommending Sector Y.
I think that's kind of more based on my nature of just like wanting to like learn a lot about stuff. Like before yo-yoing, I was super into basketball, and like I just remember I'd like know all of these stats about players and stuff. It's just something I've always like kind of thought about.
Right. About basketball.
Yeah.
I loved basketball as a child, Colin.
Yeah, man. But what was I gonna say? Like, as far as my influence is concerned, I don't know. I feel like that like year I started yo-yoing, I feel like a lot of things sort of changed. Like that's when Marcus won, so like they changed the system and stuff right after that. And like probably starting out, I was like very influenced by competitive yo-yoing more than anything else. Like I was a pretty generic player for the first like 2-3 years I was yo-yoing. I didn't really like focus
Everyone
on
is
right.
like,
Yeah, but like generally, I just kind of like definitely focused my gears towards doing well in competition.
and I don't think a lot of players really, and that's like a cool way when you're a kid to like noticeably level up, and you're not, you think of the artistry of yo-yoing, but it's like, as long as I'm doing original combinations of tricks, like who cares if I'm kind of emulating this person ever. Like, you get good by emulating other people's style, and like, I don't know, I kind of felt bad last show, and like no one called me out about it, but I harped so much in the Curdy episode about like people stealing tricks. It's fucked up, but like it's, you have to, like early on you should, you know what I mean? And like
that's how you learn.
That's how you learn. That's how you get better, and like that's who influences your style. And like, I was explaining all this to Brandon Napper a couple of months ago, like during the summer when he was home. We were watching old videos, and he's like, "You'd never know it, but like my like biggest influence, or one of them, is Markmon." He's like, "For real?" And he's like, "You don't know anything like him?" I'm like, and I showed him a bunch of old Markmon freestyles, and after like 4 or 5, I didn't even say it again. Like we were just watching these in all after a while. Like, damn, I can't believe this guy was good 15 years ago.
Yeah, Markmon's a
16,
legend.
17 years ago. Yeah. And then it was just eventually he was like, I see like what you're talking about now, just little things. I'm like, yeah, man, I used to love his videos.
It's the most like small cues that you can take from other players. I feel like.
And then once you get better and you realize like I'm never gonna be Markmon, so like I
just
can't
gotta do something different.
Like, but then those little bits and pieces still carry over.
For sure.
It's cool. It's cool to see. But yeah. So early on, you don't have a lot of notable influences, I guess.
Yeah, like I don't know. I'm trying to think
like Darnell, but not really.
I was inspired by
into.
Harold a lot as a yo-yo player. Okay, he's still probably one of my favorite yo-yo players of all time, just because that year was huge for him too. My first contest was Ohio State's 2011, and he was there. He won that contest.
How is that as like a black yo-yo player coming in? Because like, I'm trying to think the right way to word this. Like, there's not a lot of other black yo-yo players, so it's like you come in and like. I'm sure did he win in 2011?
Yeah, he won that year too. I was like a crazy.
Yeah, because you like immediately look around. I mean, at Cleveland YoYo Club, it's cool because like Darnell and I think there are a couple other black guys there, but like in the general consensus of the community, like
as far as good 1A players, there's really only like 1 or 2 huge black yo-yo players in every generation, I feel like.
So that's so sick though, like you get into this thing and you're like, it sucks there's not a lot of black people, and then like a black guy wins national.
Right, it's cool.
Sick. It's awesome, yeah.
It's cool, and I mean, I was just a kid, so like I wasn't thinking too heavily about it, but it definitely does have some like sort of...
Yeah, but like you said, his like yo-yoing influence too, so it's like you don't even think about it, like now you probably think back, like at first you probably didn't try to emulate him exactly, but it's like...
of course not.
You just look back and it's like...
Just style cues and stuff like that. Also
style cues, that's funny. That's hilarious. I've never thought about that either. Excuse me, but now, because like I could tell a lot of your early trick influence was like Augie and stuff, but which that's not what that line of questioning was about. I was just really trying to feel out like.
No, Augie was actually another huge player that inspired me a lot. Honestly, he was one of my favorites too.
And not a diss to Augie, because like he has good tricks, but like his construction is a little more generic.
Different, right.
Early 2000s, like it's not this. It's just
it's just how
meta
it is.
at the time.
Right?
And,
of course. I know what you mean.
Shit's different now, So it was that's really interesting to think about, because just like I was saying with Brandon, noticing like yo like Markmon, like thinking about that now, because I've never been like yo like Harold, but like you do have like little style cues and stuff like Harold does. That's interesting. So you're at Cleveland YoYo Club for a few years, and then it shuts down. And then you said you went to Chico in 2014? That was the last year this year. I always think it's 2013 for some reason, but I don't know.
2014, they did like prelims outside at that venue they always did it at, and then finals were inside, so that might be like something, because it was like at a different venue at one time.
Yeah, because I was practicing outside all day. And when I got inside and was like, killed it. Well, not so easy. Like,
Right.
That was a funny freestyle. Right? But, so... Another, not a funny thing that happened, but one thing I want to talk about is Cleveland.
I want to say this. Sorry, it just hit me. Isaac Sam's influenced me so much. Okay. I don't know why I didn't think about that. I was just watching one of his videos a few days ago and like remembered like
the new
Isaac.
One,
okay. Isaac was easily my favorite player besides Harold. Like him and Harold were like, because that was right. Isaac was like kind of popping by Cleveland YoYo Club from time to time too, because he was close. He was on Duncan too.
Yeah.
And he started that innovation movement stuff with Zach. Like Isaac, another huge inspiration when I was starting out. Easy.
Isaac was super sick. He's still really sick. Yeah. But like at the time, it was just like...
It was awesome.
Yeah, those people that are like... Hot.
Right.
Fire.
Yeah.
Paying
he just had the best style.
Yeah, he's real good. And so... I was hanging out a lot of him at the time, and I was also the same way. I was like so impressed with him, and like, and especially because he was like 16 at the time, so maybe even younger, and I'm just like, damn, this kid's style is so developed and like.
Yeah, and I think also just in terms of perspective, he was like, when I was starting out and I wanted to be on Duncan, he was like the only kid on Duncan in the U.S.
It's a good point
too,
and he was really good. And
right,
it's like,
that was a huge part too.
And once you start getting better, like at that point, you start notating who's really creative in yoyoing.
Right.
And then you see someone like Isaac and you're like, wow.
That guy's
and
just
he was
easy, creative. Like.
Yeah, and he was really putting on for the innovation movement at the time, where it's like, damn, like this guy is, I don't know. You don't think there's like an age where people become jaded about that sort of thing, and it's like this guy's talking about how good he is too much. But when you're a kid, it like really works when someone's like, "I'm good," and you're like, "He's good."
Yeah, like you have to just kind of prove it like that. It makes sense.
Yeah, and he's telling people like, "I'm good," and like I'm innovating. Like that's tight. So
yeah, it made sense.
Yeah. How much do you remember when Cleveland YoYo Club got robbed?
Dude, you know what is crazy? There's a few people at Worlds this year.
Yeah.
They took an Uber home from the base camp party. Like, I forget who this was, but their Uber driver like was connected to that Cleveland YoYo Club robbery, and they told him about it. It was like the most wild.
And he like had used tertiary friends or whatever.
Yeah.
He wasn't one of the people that robbed.
No,
That's funny. He just knew of the story.
I like hearing about that at Worlds made me remember it like vivid. Like remember that stuff.
Isn't it funny how you get older and forget shit?
Yeah, no, for real, you really do. Like I'm starting to realize it now.
Like, damn, like that was kind of crazy.
That was huge. Yeah, like YoYo Club was like closed for a few weeks and stuff. Like I think
so they got robbed,
right?
Yeah, because it was like not like a super hood part of town. But like,
no, it kind of was.
Which wasn't nice. Mm-hmm. Like,
yeah,
I'm definitely. Sure no yo-yo players got robbed there, but like your parents were there and shit. Mm-hmm. Like, but it got broken into one night. Someone broke a window and like pulled the gates up or whatever. And
yeah, I think the story was like they took all the yo-yos and then.
And it's not like there was a ton, like there was a lot of stock, but it was like all Duncan stuff. So it was like $20, $25, $30.
Like freehand twos, whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't like they got like a whole. Imagine they got like 20 karat Mulan.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear about the Yoyonation robberies?
Of course.
Back in the day? That's hilarious.
It's crazy.
It's not funny. But,
it's wild.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, that you would steal shit like that.
Mm-hmm. But they like
fucking fly on the pop filter. Get out of here.
Yeah, I think the people like stole the yo-yos and they were trying to sell them in bulk on
they got like maybe 4 dozen yo-yos or because Brandon didn't have a ton of stock in there. Like I think he kept the majority in his house. It was just you guys. He was and he didn't have
it was the same few people,
right.
Yeah.
So it was like whatever, 4 dozen yo-yos, a couple $100 of stock,
And they could like
it was enough. Did they go to jail over it or like I think they might have went
I don't know. But pretty much what happened was that like I think they
posted them for sale on Craigslist or something.
Yeah,
or Facebook Market, or Craigslist. Facebook Market didn't exist at the time. Yeah.
Right, they either couldn't sell them or like they tried it. I don't want to like.
Brandon found them. Brandon found them and messaged them was like, "Yo, meet me at this McDonald's."
Yeah.
And he messages the police
with
and
the 12.
Like,
yeah, like
12. Brandon got 12 involved. He's like. Hey y'all, like stole my yo-yo.
Right, yeah.
But he filed a police report and then followed up and was like, "Yo, like I found them. Like they posted them online. It was like a real easy follow up." And then he set it up and then it like
got him,
but then Brandon was also really smart because he like called a news crew to come film the whole thing. And the news crew, I want to say the news crew, I forget if they actually got them getting arrested, like the people coming in. They definitely interviewed Brandon. They definitely filmed the people getting taken out in handcuffs from the McDonald's.
Really? I don't remember this.
And I was just like, damn, that's wild.
Crazy, yeah.
Before we go back to your story, I just want to tell a really funny Brandon Jackson story. There's tons of funny Brandon Jackson stories. God, I gotta interview him too. But one time, Danny and I were staying at his house after like a long summer yo-yo trip, and there was this McDonald's by his house, all in the South everywhere. He lived in Tennessee, right? All these fast food restaurants in the South would have these crazy promotional deals going on where it'd be like, whatever, like buy 1 hash brown, get 1 free or whatever. So like they had buy 1 Big Mac, get 1 for $1. So we bought like 10 Big Macs and ate them between all 3 of us, yeah. And like Brandon's since luckily, thank God, lost a lot of weight, and Danny and I gained like 10 pounds or 11 pounds in the trip. It was so funny.
It's wild.
Came back, just had terrible skin, and it was a funny trip. But so Cleveland YoYo Club gets robbed. They get the yo-yos back, but I guess shuts down. I don't know if it was. I forget if the robbery. It was like around Christmas time, but I think
the robbery was around Christmas time.
I forget if it was like 2012 or when it was.
I think it was 2012.
Yeah, so you said YoYo Club closed in like April 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, you keep yo-yoing. You had to keep yo-yoing for a year, kind of solo dolo, or like the scene was still alive, but like, people are.
Yeah, and it was honestly like
you gotta meet somehow.
It was really good timing though, because like right when Cleveland YoYo Club stopped, I feel like 1 or 2 months later, I had like friends like Chase Baxter, Kieran, like that I would talk to on Facebook all the time, but like. Right after that, like I started talking to them on Google Hangouts, which is like a honestly great substitute.
After that long.
Yeah, like 6-7 years, like it's crazy. I mean,
it's funny to think about. I did the
people
same
talk on
thing
Skype and stuff for longer, but like Like, it was honestly, like, I never really thought about it like that, but it was a direct transition to, like, hang out with yo-yoers in some medium, so I was thankful for that.
Well,
like,
yeah, you have, like, a super wide group of friends,
Right.
and, like, you go to YoYo Club, you go on the forum, and, like, you're talking with those guys, and you lose YoYo Club, so you're like, alright, I need this deeper connection where I'm talking to, like, random people, not random people, talking to people about random yo-yo shit constantly, yeah. Damn, that's funny, y'all been doing the Google Hangout for 7 years now, or whatever. That's awesome, though. That's cool. I mean, it's no different than, like, you know, instant messenger when I was your age or whatever, and, like, I still use that into my early 20s for sure, because it was just, like, an easy way to keep up with people.
For real.
And, like, Facebook Messenger was weird. It's not like now where people were so easily susceptible to making transitions to new technology.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, there's
people
a new thing, I want it. Yeah, like. Back in the day, it was like, a new thing would come, it's like, I don't want to do this yet. Like, I remember, like, I got on Facebook in 2008, and it didn't become a thing till, like, 2010, 2011, like, really. And then it was, like, Yo-Yo Factory was like, oh, we should get control of the Yo-Yo Factory page. Like, there's a Yo-Yo Factory with, like, 8,000 likes already. We had to, like, give the kid, like, a dozen yo-yos or something. It was hilarious. Yeah, Ben, like, messaged him, like, hey, this is Yo-Yo Factory. What do you want for the page?
Like 12 yo-yos for 8,000 likes.
Yeah, he's like,
that's so funny.
Sold.
Damn.
So you had to yo-yo for another year, though. And, like, I don't know. I don't think yo-yoing will ever be the same scene-wise again.
Yeah.
Because it's just like with basketball where, I mean, I think it's still like there's a huge system where people have to go to college and stuff, but where there's more people like the Ball family, like Lonzo Ball and
just
all those
finding
kids.
their own way.
Yeah, where it's like, oh, I can go play in Europe and actually make money for 3 years and then come back and like get developed over there and like do whatever. Then I feel like not that yo-yoing's a sport, but like everything evolves and changes. So I don't know if yo-yoing is going to go back to the same where it's like people are going to be, I don't want to say loyal, but it's like there's just going to be new shit all the time. So it's going to be like a farmer system almost.
Attention spans are getting shorter and shorter with this stuff.
I think we talked about this before, maybe. Like when you were on recess, just like all these small companies are going to be like farmer teams in the bigger companies. People are just going to pick eventually. Like, oh, you're good. Like, come up to the big leagues. Like it really exists or some shit.
Yeah, like, I don't know, nowadays, I don't like see myself, I don't think I would spend 3 years trying to get on a team in 2019, like, things are just, like, so much more instant nowadays.
That's funny. I wonder if that will affect people in the future, like, if you are too loyal to I mean, anything that's loyal to an extent, like, I think my little Duncan Duncan Escapade was, like, 2 years, maybe, that it was, like, I was an active player, because I got 2006 World.
Quite a difference.
2006 Worlds, I used a freehand 0-2, and that's funny. I switched to that yo-yo like 3 weeks before the contest or something. Because I was like, oh, like I'm probably going to do well at Worlds, like I should use a yo-yo for a team I could actually get on, like I'm going to use Duncan, and so it was like 2006, 2007, and then like end of 2007 I was over it, and then like I got on Save Death, which like then we started doing the collaboration with Spy to make my yo-yo. So it was like 6, 7, well, like 2 years, two-ish years. So not even like a year and a half. So, but you said I guess yours is about a year too, right?
Yeah, something like that.
That's funny. So then what was next after that? So you get on. In between that year, like, what's happening? Because, like, after Cleveland YoYo Club stops, I guess, are you still yo-yoing with Darnell and stuff a lot, or?
No, not really. I mean, like, I don't know, Cleveland YoYo Club, after it closed down, probably met, like, maybe once a month for a while. Something like that. It was, like, 6 years ago, such a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
But, no, I was doing, like I said, like, I was probably just yo-yoing online with people a lot, like, my friends on Google Plus, and that's, like, crazy to think about.
That kind of stuff really
like, that summer,
like
that summer, like, I was talking to, like, Chase Baxter, Kieran, Michael Nakamura, and I remember, like, specifically, like, Michael would, like, practice for Worlds every day in G+, and he just, like, won Worlds that summer. It was, like, the craziest shit.
What year
was
this?
2013.
Yeah,
That's
hilarious.
And it's, like, wild, because, like, he was not expected to win Worlds.
Yeah, he wasn't. When he won, I was like, who's this kid?
Yeah, like, it was
dope,
wild. And then there's, like, one of my best friends, too. It's crazy to, like, those
How old was he? 17, 16?
Probably 16. Yeah. Like, it was wild.
That's so crazy.
I know.
No wonder he is the way he is. I love you, Michael. No, like doing like accomplishing something that
No, yeah, right, very
early
early on, and I mean, yeah, he had like a fine yo-yo
I mean
career.
that like kind of in a good way.
Yeah,
like,
of
is
course.
The way
When
he
you
is.
accomplish, yeah,
because
he's had a healthy like kind of.
You always want to try to level up.
Yeah.
So it's like when you win worlds when you're 16, it's like the fuck am I gonna do
Right.
from here? It's like I gotta start flipping Supreme, making hella money.
It's true.
Damn. So I didn't know that story that Michael won worlds that year when you guys were all talking.
Yeah.
But that really supplements even when you're going to YoYo Club. I'm sure you're still hanging out on GChat all the time with these people and like you're still building these friendships and then going to contests and seeing them occasionally. Right. What contests were you going to between all these years? So you started in 2011. Yeah. Say we're in like 2013 now. Mm-hmm. So that was like right around Triple Crown time. So you could have gone to, or was it after Triple Crown? No.
They did Triple Crown like
Chicago,
2011, 2012, but not 2013. And then in 2014, I went to Triple Crown in 2014, but they didn't have it in 2013, I think. Cool. But other than that, Ohio State's Mid-East Regionals, I went to Worlds 2012 and 2013.
Oh, that's cool. You got to go to Worlds. Your parents took you.
Yeah, they were super nice about that.
Was there some kind of like Cleveland YoYo Club trip that went down that you?
I wasn't involved in that, no, but they did do that one
That's
year.
Cool. Y'all flew down. Mm-hmm. That's nice.
Yeah, and it was like a little vacation for my family too, so that was cool. I was like still young.
Were you into like sports or anything at the time?
No,
YoYo's
not really. It's just
doing,
YoYo.
So it's like it's
there's
not
much else
to
to
a bunch of money for
not going to the Magic game or something.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Yeah.
That's sick though. So like every year and like getting exposed to that early really sets your sights high, and it's like, oh, I want to achieve this someday, and like this is the system to do that, and like you see all these people who are super good, so now. Like it's so important when you're exposed to different like levels of like your YoYo Club, you see people who like are your level like skill, and then online people who are really good, but you don't really see it in person, so it doesn't impact you as much as when you go to Worlds and see it in person.
I was kind of lucky that like the years I went to Worlds, that was like back when wildcard wasn't a thing, so like everyone did a prelim and stuff. So it was like good to be able to like kind of like directly compare myself and like rank myself without like having to like be like, oh, like I didn't make it past this first round.
You went
like,
to Worlds 2012, 2013. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I like did pretty solid both years. Like I didn't make semis those first 2 years, but I was like getting close and closer. I was like 5 or 6 spots off the second time. I was like, whoa, like I'm actually like kind of like not that bad at this yo-yo thing. So like awesome. It was motivating. Yeah, it was like huge.
Yeah, it's hugely motivating when you. Yeah, when you're a kid, it's so easy to compete, and then that's like...
You see results, you beat, like, I beat certain people, skill, I was like, whoa, like, I'm better than them, and it's like, not actually better than them, but like, you see the results, and you're like, dang, like...
As long as you just are thinking those... I used to think the same things. Yeah. But as long as you're just thinking those things inside and not...
Oh, no, I would never...
Right. Like, I was making friends with all those people, and then I think in my head, like... You know, and you realize, like, when you're a kid, you're like, well, I'm not better than them, but I'm still, like, you know... It's cool that I'm beating them in a contest. I used to look up to them in a contest.
Yeah, stuff like that. For sure.
Yeah, man. You know, gotta... I'm trying to think of the rap lyric, but, it's something like, sometimes you want to be Jordan, but you gotta AI him for your survival. I don't even watch basketball, but yeah. When, like, Jordan was on the Wizards and then AI was playing. Or was he on the Bulls still when Allen Iverson was playing him and he, like, crossed him up during a game? I don't know.
That was probably, like, 1 or 2, man. I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably 1 or 2, man. I don't know. There's a great lyric, though. I think it's either Jay-Z or Jadakiss. I'll have to look it up after the podcast. But, yeah, that's hilarious. So you went to Worlds 2012 and 2013, you said? And then 2012 was the year Marcus won?
No, Marcus won 2011. 2012 was Mickey.
Which is still a good year, but
not I was like, I wasn't like upset or anything. Like I thought Mickey was a good player.
Yeah, Mickey's
like,
awesome.
Yeah.
And then 2013,
Janos won, and that was like sick because I was like a big Duncan
fanboy,
and like Hank won too. Like,
oh
it was
wow!
Dope. Hank
all
won
that
both
kind
years.
of stuff really instills more fanboy.
For real.
When you're a kid. It's
absolutely.
Like,
Duncan.
Like, and Hank was a local guy too, so it's like you might not have seen him all. How often did he come to YoYo Club? Because he was kind of traveling.
Right, not super often. No, he had moved to Prague before he like in 2012. Okay. It's like not super long, but yeah, like Hank was another local player that really inspired me. He made me like start 3A too, pretty much. So like that's cool. Yeah, those 2 worlds though were like awesome experiences for me. Like I feel like for any yo-yo player, like being able to experience a contest like that is like such a great benefit.
Worlds.
Yeah.
And we talked about that in Purdy's podcast, how it's just so, like, even from what you're exposed to, like, the way you see people dress and shit, it's like, I'm sure maybe you went to New York maybe at that point in your life or something, but it's like, you're not necessarily exposed to, like, all these Japanese people who are, like, super high fashion into the stuff you'd never be exposed to.
Absolutely. It's like it's good for culture, like recognition and stuff like that.
It's kind of like going to a couple different countries in one, and you make like a couple international friends.
Right.
Like,
absolutely.
Or meet those international friends. Like, one of the sickest parts about the year that I won Worlds was Sid was able to come from Brazil, and him and I are like super close internet buddies. So
awesome.
Like, yeah, and he like told me he was coming, and I was like, "Oh man, like I'm practicing really hard." He's like, "Oh, whatever, like, it'll be fun." And I'm like, "No, like I really want to win." He's like, "All right, cool." Like, and then I won. Like, "Oh wow, I didn't really think that."
I didn't think you did.
Yeah, but that's cool. Congrats. Like,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, like he was super stoked. Like he loved the fact that I cared a lot, but it was just so funny. Like he cared about competing, but not as much as I did, and it was just like, oh man, like try to have more fun. Like you're a fun person. I try to have more fun yo-yoing. So, and then like you said, the Cleveland YoYo Club shutting down didn't really affect how much you were yo-yoing, right?
Yeah, absolutely not.
So you probably even yo-yoed more because it's like you get older and then
you
kind of learn how to budget your time better. Like when you feel yourself getting better, that's when you're really like, all right,
here's
Ohio State's is coming up.
Yep,
like I gotta get ready. Like you're doing 3A too, right? When did you start playing 3A?
Late 2012.
Wow. So like you would yo-yo for a year? Like a year and a half maybe or something? And
yeah.
Then,
yeah.
and then you were like, all right, I'm gonna try 3A. Was that the first alternative style that you kind of gravitated towards?
I did I had like learned a little bit of 4A and 5A too at that point. I think more so 4A than 5A, but like not to any extent compared to 3A.
Word.
Those two were just like kind of way easier to just get into, I would say, so it wasn't as like
the
difficult.
5A and 4A, yeah. And we, like, when you are into Duncan, they make all the yo-yos,
right.
So you're kind of like...
Hayabusa, the 5A.
Yeah, and especially if you're trying to get on the team, and, like, you're influenced by all those players, like, they all are multi-divisionalists, or whatever you verbalize it.
It spans all of the divisions,
Yep. And, like, I was a super nerdy kid and just wanted to learn everything anyway, but, like, once you start fucking with Duncan hardcore, then you're like, wow, like, not gotta be good, but it's like, everyone's got, like, Hank's hella good at 1A, 2, he's pretty good at 2A.
2A,
like,
right.
He's even good at 5A. Like,
I'm
I've
sure.
seen him play 5A.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, like, you're pretty good, man. Like, yeah. So just it's funny how, like, team affiliation back then was so, I don't want to say strictly affiliated. It meant a lot more,
yeah,
right?
I would definitely say it meant a lot more.
And, you know, I don't want to say I hate, but, like, I definitely contributed to the watering down of, like, making it so special to be on teams, because, like, when you're on the team, and in someone's ear, like I was with Ben, and like how Patrick was, and like Yuki and other people were with Ben. It's like, oh, Joe's super dope, put him on the team. Like Eves is super dope, put him on the team.
It's pretty like you just recommend people, and it's pretty easy to convince.
Or ordinarily it might have been like, not that they were bad additions, it just might have been like they might have had to play for another year and get to like closer to like the point to like, oh, now you're on the team versus like, oh, it's like bro flow, like just come on, you're fine, just come on the team.
All the companies treat it differently, and it's still the case like that.
So what happened next year? You're yo-yoing a YoYo Club. It's 2014, right? And then you get on Duncan in 2014.
Yep.
When was that?
So I had like gotten announced on Duncan in September 2014.
And Brandon was team manager.
Augie was team manager. Right when Brandon and Augie kind of like Augie stepped into Brandon's role as team manager.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that they switched that way. For some reason that time, like I know that timeline, but it's like I wasn't super paying attention to it.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, I just like was a huge Duncan fanboy, so I don't think many people would know that.
Okay.
Right.
And then Augie was like, I guess, trying to not make his own, well, you could say that, make his own team, make the crew more tailor-fit and curated to, like, not his style, but, like, a new team that wasn't, like,
I don't know how much
Brandon's
influence
team.
That was, like, I don't know if that was a Duncan thing, too. Like,
I'm sure once they switch up someone that's in that role, they encourage them to add more people to the team. And especially because, well, it wasn't until a while. Did you get any of the crew packs that were like the OG crew packs that were ridiculous, like 2 of each yo-yo shit? Or I think at that point they had already started making like the more high-end stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And it was like
I was getting a lot of yo-yos, but like I don't think it was probably the same as like the old school Duncan
especially if
feeling.
you're playing AAA, you were getting a lot of yo-yos.
Yeah, like I got the button up. Like that was cool, honestly. Like I'm in a pretty big deal, and I gave mine to Remy.
Like you gave yours to Remy.
Like
I love how all the old Duncan players always pass down the button up. Like Seth gave Drew like a sick Duncan button up at some point.
Yeah, he has to pass it on. Or
maybe it was Hank gave it to him. I forget. Hank made one of the button ups at some point. If I remember right. I'll have to. I can't wait.
There's like a few different ones, I think, or
so
something.
So many editions.
Like
Yeah, that was like another big part of why I wanted to get Duncan. I was like, I want to wear that.
It's a big deal, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's funny how shit like that doesn't matter now, because like
it's just more
back
saturated.
then the Crew jersey was so sick, and like there was a couple years where YoYo Jam had really awesome jerseys.
Stuff was iconic like that, yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, the team was kind of, you were a Duncan player. It's like, oh, I play AAA and 4A and 5A, and like I can use the whole product line. And then same thing with YoYo Jam, they would be that way, but then like a bunch of players in their team would be like national world champions.
Yeah, choice of champions.
Choice of champions, right? Was Remy ever on YoYo Jam?
No.
No? Okay. So you get on Duncan 2014, and then 2015 was that the year that the big Duncan contest IYYC was?
So the first one was in 2014, and I didn't go to that. Like I wasn't on the team at
that
point. That was in Orlando.
Okay.
That was Orlando.
I went to that one. Yeah.
Right. That was when they had like a ton of big players go out.
I hated that contest. I went to it, but like they had a ton of big players come out. Right. They were flying so many people.
Right.
And
it was like an invitational contest, right? Yeah, and they had a ton of seeds and stuff. Yeah.
They like flew jaw drop out, and I was like waiting to get an invite. Like, yo, I know they're gonna fly me out. They're gonna fly me out for this shit. Like, I'm maybe if I asked Augie, he would have. But I
you
feel
like follow and unfollow Duncan on IG or something.
Seriously,
I'm joking around.
No, but like,
no, I know what you mean. Like you're just waiting. Yeah, that's
I'll
funny.
have more Augie comments later in the podcast when we talk about your story, but. It was just funny at times. I'm like, I bet Augie just doesn't like me. I think that's kind of what it was, because like, not that he didn't like me, but it was just, he like, it was like right after he got off Yo-Yo Factory, got on Duncan, so it's like I don't want to like fly out a Yo-Yo Factory guy. So I get it. Probably wasn't personal, but anyway. So you didn't go to that contest, and then 2015 you did go and you won. Right.
Yeah, that was the one in LA. Yeah, downtown Disney. Right. Yeah, and that was like that summer.
I did not go to that.
Right, no, that was completely different from the first one. They didn't like fly out any sponsored players from other teams or anything like that. It was just like a normal contest. It wasn't very international, honestly. Like it was kind of just like Southwest region people, and then a few other people would fly out. But yeah, that was like an amazing summer for me. Like that was crazy.
So 2014 IYYC.
2015.
Yeah, 2015 you win. Yeah, 2014 you did not go. 2015 you win, right? So what happened? So you competed there, right?
Yep. Yeah, I won IYYC in 2015, which is pretty cool.
And that wasn't your first contest win, right?
No. My first 1A win was like late 2014 at PA States, I think.
Oh, okay, and cool. Like one time when Yo-Yo Sam was running.
Right, yeah, the Yo-Yo Sam PA States.
That's sick.
And then 2015, that summer was like probably like like my competitive peak in 1A. Like I won MER, MWR, and IYYC. And then those were all in a row. And then I made Worlds Finals like right after IYYC. Yeah. It was like wild.
I forgot you made Worlds Finals.
That was like a huge like level up for me. And like I didn't even make Nats Finals the year before, so it was just like, damn.
That is
like,
a huge level up. Yeah. Damn, that's quite the run.
I know. It's like I can't live up to that shit anymore.
If someone did that now, we'd all be like,
it'd be wild. Yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it was impressive at the time. Yeah, and you don't really think about how impressive that is when you're a kid. You're just like, oh, I won another one.
You're like, I won this contest. Yeah, like, I won this contest.
It's not like you're getting hella money or anything. Mm-hmm. You're just like, oh shit, like I got a bunch more yo-yos that I can either sell. Or like if you're young enough, you're playing with them sometimes. You're like, oh, I really like these. And then you can play with them for a bit and then try to sell them or whatever.
Yeah.
But, so then how old were you at this point?
I was 15.
15, 2015?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So you win IYYC 2015, and then what's happening next in your yo-yo career? You're still on Duncan, right?
Yep. So I won IYYC 2015, and that year was like, I guess both 2014 and 2015 was right before Worlds. Mm-hmm. So like literally like I won IYYC, and then the next day my flight to Japan was then.
Okay, so we had already been talking about that point, right?
Yeah. So I went to Worlds in Japan, and started on wild card that year, and I was like the only one to make it out of wild card all the way to finals. It was like some wild shit for me. And
a wild shit for anyone. That's awesome. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, made Worlds Finals. That was like my first time ever in Worlds Finals. And then like I did like the worst freestyle ever. Like
it happens.
Yeah, no, and I mean it had to happen at some point.
Oh,
but, like,
yeah, and
that was like
I did the same thing my first year.
Yeah,
It wasn't nearly as difficult in preliminary rounds. Like, it was nearly as difficult of a country. But, like,
it was just like the most frustrating shit too, because like back then I was like so consistent, always, just because like I don't know, the way I yo-yoed was kind of safe and stuff like that. So like I did like a flawless wild card, like a -1 or 2 prelim, like a super clean semi, and then in my finals I switched on the first throw, and I literally never switched yo-yos in 1A before, so I was just like,
was the rest of it pretty clean?
Yeah, I ended up doing fine, but like that was just like wow, like embarrassing.
Yeah, you
honestly.
never switch.
Yeah. And like,
I feel like at the time though, like when you're young, you might have been bummed, but it was also you were in Japan with your friends,
right?
So, like,
yeah, I don't know. Like
I ended in final that year,
and
I won nationals the year before. I should have gotten a seed.
I also like went first in finals too, so it's just like so much pressure. Literally, the freestyle before mine was Hajime's 3, and he like fucking went in, so I was like, oh my god. And like it was just so stressful, but yeah, I did that freestyle and I was like so bummed the rest of finals. Like I barely watched finals. Like I was watching from like the screen downstairs in the practice room and stuff. Like I don't know. It was definitely an experience that like everyone has at some point, and it is what it is. Like I learned a lot.
It's better to go through it earlier, I think, than like even when you kind of recently have like stopped competing as much. It was easier for you now to like transition into competing less versus at the time, like that could have been a really big discouragement. But instead you
I was just on go like all the time.
Yeah, but instead you kind of turned it around.
Right.
Like you were bummed about it, but like when you're a kid, I think the turnover for everything is really quick. So.
Right. Yeah, it's like what are you gonna do? I still like made my goal of making Worlds Finals, and that was like still wild to me.
And you were realistic.
Right.
You weren't like I could win. Or, like maybe.
I was like I made Worlds Finals. I went perfect in semis, and I was the last one to make it in. I was like, damn, I'm gonna get last in this shit. And like I actually got second to last. I was like, let's go. Like I was stoked. But
awesome.
Yeah, like Worlds ended.
Who got last for Yoto?
Yep.
He always gets last. I'm sorry.
Not always, but yeah, he got last that time.
Didn't he get last in like 2014 maybe too? He always wins prelims.
He's always like
gets
towards
last.
the bottom. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
I think he's done better.
Yeah. He got like 11.
He's really good. I'm not saying.
Oh, of course, he's one of the best. Yeah, and then so that was Worlds, and then in between Worlds and US Nats that year, I went to NER, and then that was my last contest on Duncan.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Okay,
right.
I'm still trying. I like.
Yeah, it's like a weird
kind of
timeline.
Yeah. We were talking a lot at that time, but like not about
right.
necessarily. Like you kind of already planned on coming to recess by that point, so it's like, oh, I just gotta finish out these last few contests, and then.
Yeah, it was just a timing thing.
I forgot, and then you kind of got gypped at that NER too, right? Who won that year?
Yo, I was watching these. Win? No, I was watching these freestyles like yesterday. Mater won, and like Mater was hot that year. Like Mater's one of the best like U.S. yo-yo players of all time. That dude can still win Nats. Like, but yeah, I like again that was another one of my like near flawless freestyles, and I got second at Mater, and I was like pretty bummed, not gonna lie. Cause,
Did you look last night at how different the scores were, like what the spread was?
It wasn't super far. It was probably only just a few points, honestly.
That's funny.
But
if it was like less than a point, I feel like
no, I don't think it was that close. But
yeah, it's still funny.
Yeah, and like I don't know, like looking back on it, Mater was just like a way more like developed yo-yo player than I was trick-wise, because at that point I was thinking very linearly in terms of like how I made my freestyles, what tricks I did, like. That was back when we like had first started the whole scales thing too, so we were working together super heavily and stuff. So I had a very like structured formula, and like Mater just like had way more of the mastery of like all the cool tricks and stuff. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I got second at that contest, and I was like pretty bummed. But
That's funny. Bummed you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I mean, if you go like near flawless and like don't miss anything on stage and you still can't win, like it kind of is like disheartening to some extent. So like I don't know. That's probably why. And then that happened.
Nationals was next, I guess.
Yeah, and that's 2015. So that was like my first contest on recess and my first time in Nats finals. I had a seed that year from MER, and like that was also like another really clean freestyle of mine. That year of Nats was like That was the first one in LA too. So like that huge stage. It was a really good experience.
Did you
being
find
that time.
final that year?
Yeah, I had a seat. So yeah, that was great. I ended up getting 6th at Nats, and that was like a really like solid placement for me. I was like content.
Yeah, so
I honestly,
nationals is awesome.
yeah, I think I probably looking back, like I wanted to get top 3 that year, but like everyone was good, so I kind of just like learned like I wasn't really on top yet.
And if you looked at the spread from yours, the first place, it probably was like 5 or 6 points.
Yeah,
So
it is what it is. Like, and that was my first Nats final. So
if
like
you just one little thing and one little change, you could have been 3rd.
Right.
So it's
like,
it's hard to really. That's what sucks about the yo-yo contest, and it's hard to really say. Like, you can always be like, yeah, this person technically got 3rd, but it's like, if anything else, like imagine if that was a presidential election. It's like, it's less than 1,000 votes in every region, like in the whole country. It's like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, so they tied? Like, what do you mean? Like, that's basically what happens, and it's like, it's crazy that happens so often in Worlds, and now it's kind of started to level a bit more, where the people who win or get top 3 will be close, and then it'll cluster, but then it'll start like clustering little sections off at the bottom. But so yeah, you got on recess, and then you.
So 2015, I think Nats. I went to Vegas that year too.
Okay.
I hated that contest.
This was 2015.
Yeah, that was like.
I did not go to Vegas.
You didn't go. That was when like. And no disrespect to the organizers, because it was not their fault. I need to clarify. That was the skill con, because Vegas was held at skill con, so there's like a ton of other stuff going on. But that was the year there was a bodybuilder competition while 1A finals was happening back like behind the stage.
I forgot.
So I'm like doing my freestyle, and you hear people getting announced and stuff. It was so distracting, and I got 6th again at that contest, and I was like really bummed, because like there was like a seed to world semifinals at stake if I got top 3. Super close to top 3.
Yeah, because that was our North American
qualifier.
Champions.
Yeah, and that was like, again, I don't know, still pretty early on into my like 3-minute yo-yo career on that high of a level. So
yeah, 3 minutes is a long.
It is.
It takes you a lot of stage.
Dude, I was like trying to make a Nats freestyle this year. Even I was like, damn, like I barely have 3 minutes of tricks. Like I don't think many people really do, honestly.
Yeah.
But
like a constant. You can dig for 3 minutes. Like you definitely have.
Yeah, of course. But like high quality tricks you want to do on stage, it's tough.
And stuff that you practice on a regular basis. Like,
for sure.
But so what was next?
Yeah, I think that was probably it for like the big 2015 things I did.
Yeah.
2016 went to VA. That was my first VA States.
So wait, let's roll it back real quick, because I forget. First, I want to eat some gummies.
Go for it.
And you don't have to if you don't want to, but I bought some. You said you'll pass? I was hoping that you'd partake with me, but I guess I'll just eat some of these on my own. Got a gummy hamburger. You can partake. I mean, no one's gonna judge you.
I'm not very hungry.
It's gummy, so I mean, it's not like it's gonna really take up any room, but I understand. Gummy hamburger there, and then move on to I love the packaging for these, for the gummy pizza. It's so good. It's like.
It's kind of fire.
Yeah, it's definitely an inspiration for like first base packaging. What kind of toppings do you think are on this gummy pizza? Like, is that eggplant? It looks like the eggplant.
It's eggplant, yeah.
So I'm gonna open both of these and just So I wanted to talk about 2015 BAC when you.
Oh right.
Because that was the first time you and I met, right?
Mhm.
So we meet at 2015 BAC.
Yep.
And I picked you up from the airport, right? Which was a funny trip in itself, just picking you up from the airport. Because that was literally the first time we met, right?
That was my first contest, like, by myself, too.
First contest by yourself?
Uh-huh.
So...
like, without parents being there and stuff.
Yeah. I remember, like, talking to your mom on the phone, and she was like, why do you want to fly Colin out? I'm like, I want to put him on my yo-yo team. And she was like... It's funny to think, like, a yo-yo parent kind of understands that. Because if it was someone else, like anything else, would be like, what the fuck are you talking about my kid? Like, you gonna fly him across the country? And your mom was, like, pretty cool about it. And then, so I picked you up from the airport, and we get to the hotel room. And who was all in the hotel? I mean, we probably don't remember how many. I know Paulo was there.
It was, like, probably around 10 people.
10 people, you think? Was it that many?
I think so, yeah.
It was
like
a lot.
8 to 11, I would
8
say
to
was
11.
the range. Like,
I had 6 in my notes, so I was like, maybe it was 6 or 7.
It was more than 6, dude.
You got a bed, I remember that.
I did get a bed, thank you. Paulo was there. I think Kevin Nicholas was there.
Okay, Kevin was there, that's right.
I think
it was like kind of a yo-yo factory.
Ben Gates and Kai were there too, I think.
Oh God. How many people were there? Yeah, God, that's insane.
I don't. That was so long.
That's
ago.
just so funny. You remember? I don't remember all those people. I remember like 2 or 3. So they're just funny stories from this San Francisco trip at BAC the first time. So we're in. Normally at BAC they'll have a single hotel room where they'll have like locker rooms and a lot of people can book them. And then you can hang out with a bunch of yoga people at the hotel. But this BAC, the hotel was really small, so the room sold out really quick. We didn't get a room. We got a room at the hotel right across the street. The hotel was in a neighborhood called the Tenderloin, which is like super, super hood. That was the first neighborhood I went to BAC in. But like, I remember we were hanging out. I know Curdy was there. I forget. I'm pretty sure you were there walking with us too. We were like crossing this crosswalk, and there was a homeless dude with like a huge gash in his arm. Were you there for that? No?
I don't even remember.
Or were you there,
Probably,
like,
man. Like...
Curdy like fed a homeless person a chicken nugget out of like his he put it like on the corner of his chicken nugget container and made it eat it.
I wish
you weren't there for that. That's funny. There. But you were there when we were smoking in the hotel room, and then the fire alarm went off. I ripped the fire alarm out of the ceiling. All the wires came out of it. There's just a gaping hole in the ceiling. And I rip all the wires out of the fire alarm, screw the fire alarm back into the ceiling so when the people in the hotel come up, they don't see any different. But it stopped going off, like the sound stopped going off, right? Or did it? I forget. I'm pretty sure it did.
Yeah.
I think if it kept going off, yeah. I think if it kept going off, it would have, like, we had to evacuate him. So, the people from the hotel did come upstairs, right? They're like, what happened? I'm like, I don't know. It just started randomly going off. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I have no idea. Like, it just started randomly going off. I pressed the button, it was fine. They're like, okay, cool. They went back downstairs. But it was just mad funny the first time meeting Colin. And like,
yeah,
alright, I gotta do this nefarious
that was like
illegal
my
activity.
exposure to the real yo-yo world.
It was good times.
No, it was a great contest.
I swear you saw some other shady shit happening in the Tenderloin, though, but I love the Tenderloin just because it's so sketchy and, like, you can, I don't know, it's fun. I have tons of stories from there, but I won't elaborate on it anymore. But that was a good trip, that BAC trip, other than,
I mean,
that story particularly is funny.
It's memories,
It's memories, yeah. I'm like, I don't know. I'm glad that you got in bed, but it's funny thinking back, like, God, stuffing that many people in
a hotel
room, yeah. So, you were fast forwarding, let's say we're, like, in early 2016 now, right?
Yeah. So that was, like, VA States. That was my first time at VA States. Super dope contest.
I forgot you flew out for that.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny.
Yeah, I did both 2016 and 2017, yeah. Like, awesome contest. Trying to think of anything significant. Tried cookout. That was cool.
You remember what milkshakes you got the first time?
Nah, I don't, honestly. Probably cookies and cream or something, though.
Was that your go-to flavor?
Probably, usually, yeah.
Fucking Maynard, fucking Colin. Cookies
bro.
and cream flavor. When Maynard comes on the podcast, I'm going to ask him about this legendary New York Oreo milkshake story.
Wait.
What are you talking about? What story?
Remember the Nestle story?
Oh, I'm not going to ask you about that. But the one time he went to New York with Gentry, and Mark Mangarin is showing him around. And he's like, what do you want? Like, I could literally take you to any food you want, like, best in the city. Like, you can go anywhere. And he's like, I just really want to go to Burger King in Times Square and get an Oreo milkshake. I want to ask him about
Yo. I don't blame him, though.
Cook. Yeah, I'm not going to go there. So it's probably your first cookout order. Cookout's great. And that's like something we do every year.
It's a classic. Still 4 years strong.
States, yeah. And that's why you guys did the
Cookout States shirt, too.
Yeah. It's cool. I wish I would have gotten. If I was in the future, I need to pay more attention.
After VA, PNWR was the next contest.
Where did you stay at VA that year?
Charles's house. Yeah, with all you guys. That was fun.
How many people were there that year? Do you remember? This was a house. It wasn't just one room.
It was a house.
This was a house that everyone could stay in.
What do you think? Like, probably within
I want to give baker's dozen.
I want to give. Yeah, I was literally gonna say like dozen and a half, maybe within that range. Like
definitely 20 people would have rolled through.
Yeah, at a given time.
But like maybe that actually
bodies on the
ground
and then around the house, dozen and a half.
Shout out to the Schuler family.
Thank you so much.
Charles and his mom. Definitely gonna interview Charles at
You
some
should.
point. But yeah, he's got some great stories. First time I ever got drunk was at his house. First time I ever got drunk in my life, yeah. So, you stay at Charles's house, Virginia State's. I feel like 2016 you went to like a couple random contests. Or maybe you went to PNWR.
I did PNWR
and I did
next.
PNWR that year too, right?
Yeah. That was...
I bought more gummies thinking that you're going to eat some. But
sorry, man.
No, it's okay. I'm just going to eat them anyway. So what else? So PNWR. Do you remember anything funny about PNWR that year?
I'm trying to remember. I went to PNWR 2015, so this is like my second PNWR.
Okay.
Man, let me think.
Dick's.
Yeah, classic
burgers.
Dick's.
Burgers at Dick's, but that's really. I mean, PNWR is always fun.
Yeah, they kind of blend together for me. I don't know why. Both VA and PNWR, because I follow such a similar like ritual with what I do every year. Like
the scheduling, the circuit.
Yeah, like
yeah,
for
it's
real.
like Courtney Cobb. He's like, when I would talk to him about like at this point in his interview too, he's like, "Yeah, man, just hitting the circuit," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah, like the same contest every year. You're right. Kind of fall into that cycle. Yeah, and then they just all kind of blend together. Eventually.
Yeah. PNWR 2016.
What happened between then and Worlds? Is that the year you graduated in 2017?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, between 2016 PNWR, I went to MAR too. That was when it was in the mall for the first time, I think.
Okay.
That was a
fun.
fun. Yeah, that was.
Came out for all these.
Yeah, that was a really fun year. That was probably when I went to like the most contests, honestly. Yeah. After MAR, I went to BAC. And that was the last years of the band show, so it was like super fun.
Did we stay at Johnny's house that year and
yeah,
hang out at Camp Steel afterwards?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was fun.
How long did you stay there for? Because I feel like it was around spring break, so it was like you were there for like a week. Or
it was like right when I finished the school year. So like I did like go on vacation with my parents that time, I think, and I like hung out with you guys at JD's for a bit after.
That's funny,
for a few days or something.
I remember you being there for like kind of a little while.
Mm-hmm. Good times.
Yeah. Shout out JD.
Yep. And what else? 2016 BAC. Yeah, that was really fun. And then after that I went to MER, like as usual.
I think did I come to MER that year? No?
Not that year.
Did I come to Ohio State that
year?
year?
Oh yeah, there's Ohio State's too. And like...
I did go that year and 2017.
Yeah, Steve had me kind of like organize it that year because he was running Worlds. So he came and helped out MC.
I thought that was the year you graduated, but I guess it wasn't. No. I went to your graduation party then.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So 2016, Ohio State's, I went to that.
Yeah.
That was like at a mall too, right? That was fun. Mater came out for that.
Yeah, and Kirby and Mark went with you too, I think. Yeah, that was
Mark
a fun
came
weekend.
Out too.
And then there's also MA States too, sometime in that summer. That was fun. Classic weekend in Northampton.
They're always classic weekends in Northampton at Andre Boulet's house. And
Thank
the
you,
Boulet
Andre.
residence. What MA States? When that had happened? You said during the summer?
That was like June or July, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, he switches it up. He used to do MA States then, and then
NER
in the fall, and then
yeah.
now it's like kind of vice versa.
Mhm.
So yeah, we went to a lot of contests that year.
Yeah.
We probably went to 10 contests that year or something. Yeah, or close.
Yeah, maybe it
3 or 4 regionals,
like
couple
low
states,
key. Yeah, I don't know.
Worlds, nationals.
Mhm.
Nationals in LA again that year.
Yeah, Worlds is in
Where did you
Cleveland.
place that year?
I got third at Nats that year.
Oh damn, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you practice a lot that year, or?
Dude, yeah. Honestly, come to think about it, like, I don't know. I didn't really think I was like. I don't really know where my head was at with yo-yoing at that point, because like I was still practicing and stuff, but I was like about to be a senior in high school and like.
Kind of funny though, the time you end up doing your best.
Right.
Is, like,
Yeah.
you're
But
not
like,
really intending.
I do remember though, like that Nats. I feel like I was prepared more than usual for some reason. Like I don't know.
Were you just yo-yoing a lot?
Yeah, maybe. Like I think I was kind of bummed with how I did at Worlds or something like that, so I maybe like put more effort in Nats.
That's awesome.
So like yeah, that paid off. I got top 3. Worlds was also in Cleveland that year. That was like the first one.
Yeah.
That was super fun.
Did you final that year? Yeah. When did do you remember what you got that year?
13th.
That's awesome.
It's like,
though. That's.
I never broke top 10, man.
I know, but like for a world yo-yo.
No, I know. Yeah, it's like you got like it's.
It's different time. It's funny because if you were to like compare yourself to players 10 years ago I got 13th. It's
right.
Like, man, those people are kind of garbage races now, you know? Like,
yeah,
skill-wise.
Just stats.
Yeah, because it's weird. Yeah, it's just stats, exactly.
Right. Yeah, it's fine. Like, I don't feel any type of way about that. But yeah, I got like 13th at Worlds and then 3rd at Nats. There's no Vegas that year. So that was probably like the last big contest I hit, I think.
Awesome. And then I feel like did we hang out like on spring or Christmas break or something? Or
that was the year before, I think.
Okay.
With like the first base stuff and like, I think that's what you're thinking of. Where you filmed the first base videos.
That's right. I forgot. Yeah, you came out during that. Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Like a week. Yeah.
It's like my winter break, I think.
That's right. I forgot all about that. That's so funny. Okay. And then, when did the Diplomat come out? Was that Worlds 20?
No, that was
before Worlds 2017?
Before. It was like no, it was before Worlds 2016. It was at MAR.
Okay.
It's like that mall contest. Yeah.
Worlds 2016 was cool with the team and everything.
Yeah, that was a blast.
Team and we hung out at your house. Excuse me. Oh my gosh.
The triple.
I'm trying to think of because it was who was staying at your house? Me, Mark, Kieran,
Bergie, Joe,
Ahmad.
Kenta.
Yeah, people kind of like came in waves. Yeah, Kenta. So there was like 8 or 9. Or it was like, and Patrick Morgan came like the last 2 days.
And,
and like at first it was like, oh, we can just like go out to eat, and then by the end it's like, oh, maybe we should just like try to make stuff at home, or like, and we ended up like buying a bunch of stuff at Costco we never ate, or like, there's a bunch of random stories from that trip. But one thing I wanted to bring up was burning a hole through your your face.
You laugh, man. You laugh.
I guess, you know, as a kid you deal with a lot. And things like that and now that you're older, it's like it's not whatever, I don't want to say it like that, but like when you're a kid, your parents like, how the fuck did this happen? And like, when you're older, they just kind of like brush off stuff like that, or it's like, I guess mistakes get bigger as you get older or more expensive, right. So when you're a kid, it's like, you're a perfect child, and all of a sudden you burn a hole through the deck. Your friends burn a hole through the deck. We were barbecuing. I think we were making shrimp.
Burgers. I think we were making burgers, man.
Yeah, making burgers, man. And there's like a coal catch, like a burned coal catch after it would like fall through the first thing to the bottom. I've never used a grill like that. Mark never used a grill like that. The grill was manned by like 4 or 5 different people. There's no excuses. Everyone should have known that this is gonna end up happening. Because we put so much coal in the top part, it just kept falling into the bottom part, and like no one paid attention. It overflowed and then leaked onto the deck, burned a hole in the first layer, and then I think, did you have a carpet on the second layer of deck? So it just kind of landed on the carpet, or
I think so, something like that. Yeah.
But his parents just got the deck refinished, right? Your face, you really went through some shit, right?
Dude, like, I kind of did, man. Like.
You're like, this is the worst part of my late teenage years, is burning a hole.
My parents were not happy with me at Worlds that year. It was a bummer,
yeah, that's true, man. I hear you. I'm sorry. Beckford family.
We got a new deck recently. They got it remodeled.
A whole new deck?
Not a whole new deck, but like it's been remodeled since then, replaced. Looking good in 2019.
2019 Beckford. When you graduate college, we're gonna have to go back and do it.
I don't know about that.
We're permanently banned. Do it back next year.
You were. That's true.
That's funny. So Diplomat came out.
Yep.
And trying to think, we made a lot of them. We made a shit ton of them. Made like 400 of them, I think, at the time, which is like a huge amount of yo-yos to make for any brand, even for like a yo-yo factory. That's like a lot of metal yo-yos to make. But like, you know, it was at a time where like I was getting overzealous with like doing stuff like that and undertaking projects that were like more than I could chew, and it's like, oh, we're gonna be able to move through these super quick. And like, it was funny, like the first year of Recess, how like the more that we would like attain status within the community, more like smaller brands would start coming up, and like, you know, we still grew, but like not as much as we could have if like these other brands came in. And now it's like, you know, at the time it was kind of laughable, like, oh, it seems like every month a new brand is popping, and now it's like every week someone is making like literally every week someone makes a new yo-yo, and it's just kind of the norm. But like it was an interesting thing, because like when we did start Recess, it was like not like 400 of a yo-yo was like not like it was a lot of yo-yos, but it was like, oh, if we promote these the right
Right,
way
you'd
and
think
work
it'd
at
make
it, it would
sense,
sell,
right?
right? Especially with like a player that's doing well, but it's like just a weird time in
You learn,
yo-yoing,
yeah.
and then like wasn't exactly what you wanted yo-yo wise, could have been better,
Right.
and it there was a lot of reasons. So like it's not like we sat on them forever, but it was just like a lot of things working against you in the yo-yo. So
Right.
like, and I think, did you compete with it? You competed with it for a long time.
For a bit, yeah.
For,
Like at least a year.
yeah, and I don't know. Did we have like another bimetal afterwards?
Vacation was around at the same time.
Yeah, but, like he was a diplomat for a long time, and I'm almost positive like by the time that Vacation came out, they were all gone from stores and stuff.
They came out at the same time.
Oh, okay. No, you're right. Yeah. So did you use Vacation around that time, or you started using it after Diplomat, kind of?
So I think I used Diplomat.
I forgot they both came out in MAR that one year.
Yeah, I think I used the
It's
Diplomat.
a hell of a drop to do
It
a regional
is.
contest. Thinking back, it's
In a
like,
mall.
why did I do that? Yeah, like it's
That's
such
funny.
a crazy nut to come up with. It's like such a great, like the contest is expensive to run. You're making 2 yo-yos. Jesus Christ.
It's funny.
Yeah, to think about now, it's like, even now, that's like a stressful thing to think about. Like, that's a massive undertaking. I would never want to do that. But at the time, I was just like, so, like you said, hit the ground running.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think
So,
for the rest of the time I was on recess, I used the Diplomat except for like 1 or 2 contests in 2017 probably. I used the Vacation otherwise.
Word.
Or I used the Charm once too.
So it wasn't 2016 we did like a trip or anything. I think maybe Zach came out for 26.
No, I was here for. I came here for a week in 2017, like right around when you got this place, spring break. That's when I came here.
Yeah, I moved in. I had like a little housewarming party.
Right,
But I
yeah,
had
like all
everyone
of us
over,
came through for a bit. Yeah.
I do remember that. I had Eves came up for it too. That was a fun.
Dude, that was
weekend.
sick.
Yeah, that was a good
We
time.
made that like Komodo video too with P&B Rock.
People hated that. Like I got so many I got like a weird amount of dislikes and like a weird amount of comments of people that were like, "Why are you using this music?" It's like, why do you not like this? Like, what's the matter with it? Like, or why would you comment about it? Like,
it's unfortunate, like how people aren't just like not into. I mean, I sometimes get it, I guess, but I don't know. Within yo-yoing, it's just tough because like that music, I like didn't really learn this. We've talked about this for years. I feel like you've always been one of those players who like freestyles to hip hop music. I didn't really start doing that until like this year, but like I realized it's just like way like more, at least for me, the way I yo-yo, like it just makes way more sense to yo-yo too. And it's unfortunate like all these songs are like explicit and stuff, or like if you use one in a video, people feel some type of way about it. Like it's like, come on, I just like this music. Like it's not a big deal.
I think yo-yo players just can't identify with it, or like they don't want to.
Yeah, it is what it is. Whatever.
It is, yeah, it's whatever. I've like been, like you said, I've been doing it for a long time, so like I've never like really
thought about it.
Yeah, like I would expect people to be upset about it, but like just the huge, I guess like more so in yo-yoing, like luckily people have expressed like positivity about that. Like that's what sets me apart normally. But in that video, for some reason, it's like, I think because Recess wasn't like me, it was like its own thing. People were like, "The hell's this? Like, what is this weird ass song you're using?" And it's like, I don't know. It was very weird. So yeah, that was a fun trip. That was like around Valentine's Day, though, I feel
February.
Like.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had spring break then?
No. I think that was I went then when everyone was here, and then I came up here too for spring break, staying out for a bit.
I do remember you coming for spring break, and like, I don't think we got like anything done the whole
Probably not, honestly.
Like, we would stay up super late, get super tired, sleep till like 11 or noon or something,
just,
and
like
then,
repeat.
Luke and I would work a little bit, and then it was like, all right, we gotta get ready for Iceland, and I think we might have already had the hotel and stuff booked or whatever by that point. But anyway, so then you graduated high school that year, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we had a super awesome Cleveland trip that we came out for. Or I came out
for the grad party.
Did I bring Mark and
Mark and Bergie were there.
Yeah,
Jesse was there. Adam went too.
Yeah.
I think he drove with you guys. Or he came by himself. And and Mater was there too. Dude, that was sick.
That was a great
that was really fun.
I took some really sick
the photos,
like,
right? Yeah. I remember those.
Somewhere I gotta
Dude, that was a fun trip.
That was a really, really fun trip, yeah. Like, so many little things happen that are just, like,
And it was a very hot
contest,
too.
Memories, yeah.
Was
that very hot contest?
It was outside at that
I forgot that was
the outside
Ohio
venue.
State's, right? Mm-hmm. The good thing, you're still not 21. I always just assume people are way older than they actually are. I just want to be like, you're 21 right now. You're not 21
nope.
yet. But like they had this amazing unlimited Bloody Mary
I remember
bar.
hearing about this.
But we only hit it like 10 minutes before it closed. So we just got like way to guzzle one Bloody Mary in like 9 minutes and then go get another one real quick. But it was like $10 or $15 or something. And we like if you were there for hours, you could have got a lot. But we didn't discover it till like the contest was basically like we had to volunteer and judge or do something. I forget what happened, but we couldn't drink as many Bloody Marys as we originally intended. But yeah, that was a fun contest. I think we all got sunburned and then went to your grandparents' beach house and got sunburned even more.
Yeah, probably. That sounds about right.
White people problem.
Yeah, I'm kind of lucky, dude. Like, you talk about that, I'm like, yeah, you guys probably did get sunburned, didn't you?
Pasty mom. And then, so after that trip, that was a super fun trip.
That was, and then Iceland was next, and I went to Europe.
Next, right?
Yeah, I went to Europe before.
How was that? Europe?
That was dope. I went with Bergie, Mark, and Ethan Chung before. We went to Sweden for a day, Stockholm, because it was like a 24-hour layover. And then we went to Amsterdam for a bit, and then we went to Prague. And then we went to Iceland. So we spent a few days in Amsterdam and Prague. It was a dope
countries in like 10 days.
Yeah, it was wild, honestly. I was exhausted by that trip. I was sick at Worlds that year actually. So
really?
I didn't make finals that year. I was bummed. But that was a dope trip beforehand, and it was it's nice to have those experiences where it's just not a contest. You can hang out with people and just chill. It was dope.
Yeah, it was nice having the house the way that we had it.
Yeah, that was my first time going to Slesny too, when I went to Prague, so that was also cool.
Slesny is sick, and Prague is sick. I haven't been to Amsterdam, and I haven't been to
Stockholm.
I haven't been to Sweden, but I've been to all the other countries you mentioned. I think they're all super sick, and it's crazy when you're in Europe how they just stack up like that. You go on one trip,
right? You just go, it's right there, cool.
7 countries.
It's like a $70 flight. Cool, I'll be there. Yeah, it was fun. I want to do that again next year for either YoYC or Worlds. I'm not sure which one.
Do you know where YoYC is supposed to be next year? I have no idea.
I don't know.
Or so you didn't final Worlds that year. That sucks.
No,
but whatever. Not a huge deal.
It's whatever.
Yeah, exactly. The older you get, I think the less you care about stuff like that.
I got over it pretty quickly.
Yeah, and you and I have always been close to talk about that shit a lot. And when you do well, you do well, and then when you don't, it's
whatever.
I'm always really good at just being putting things into perspective and being it's not really the end of the world. Yeah,
right.
Things are gonna get better.
For sure.
And we went on that trip after Worlds, right? Did you come to that? I think that was fun. Mm-hmm. And then we come back from Worlds, and I went through a breakup pretty much not immediately, maybe a month and a half after Worlds. Girl I was super in love with, that Colin spent a lot of time in Iceland. Why are you looking at me?
I'm sorry, man.
It fucked you up at the time.
I'm sorry, dude. I don't mean to laugh about it.
No, I'm not saying it like that. Please laugh about it. I'm laughing about it. It's hilarious. It was a funny look. I just feel like it plays into the timeline.
No, it does. You're right.
I mean, yeah. So, that girl breaks up with me. I start getting super depressed and withdrawn and, not talking to the team as much. And, team starts to fall off, early on. It wasn't, anything crazy was happening yet. But, not a lot of... you could just see very early on, I was starting to, pull money out of the team just because, I had spent a lot of money. And it was,
you're just kind of adjusting to stuff.
Yeah, which, now everyone sees it as a bad thing, but, at the time, it's a scary thing, and, YoYo was growing so much and everything.
For real.
So then, you leave recess. When was that again?
That was October that year. Yeah.
Damn, that was really close to my breakup, too.
Again, I'm sorry, dude.
That
was bad time.
Do you remember how close they were? That's hilarious.
I don't know when, because...
It must have been, because I had that,
It was probably within a month.
Yeah, and I started seeing that girl again briefly in November. So, right as November happened. So, it was, and we broke up, end of September. So.
Yeah.
That's just really funny to think about now. God, because I remember telling you, because you're, close friends. So I told you about it, man, I broke up, or that girl broke up with me. I'm so bummed. And you're that sucks, man. I'm here for you, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but, yeah, so... Let me know if you want a new cup. So you could just tell, like, Recess was gonna change as a company, and, like, that's scary when you're younger, you know what I mean?
And I was, like, just starting out college,
and even when you're older, it's, like, you... Like, with the Duncan situation, like you said, like, that was really the end of that era where it's like, okay, I'm gonna sit on this team for a year. And it's not like you sat on Duncan for a year before you got on Duncan. To get on Duncan, it took a year and a half of you, like, working to get on Duncan. Right. And then even when you were on Duncan and things started to go downhill, it was like, all right, I'll give it, like, 6-7 months. And, like, even then, I was really pressuring you to leave. It wasn't like... You had plenty of other options, I'm sure. Could have gone wherever you wanted to, especially winning fucking 8 contests back to back. But, like, I was definitely the devil on your shoulder, like, come over here, like, I'm trying to spend all this money and do all this cool stuff, and so I don't know, it's just teams, like, transition everything. And now it's, like, even different.
It's a big learning experience for sure. Yeah, it's, like, on so many levels.
Now it's even different where, like, it's sort of evening out where people understand, like, oh, I have to put in some, like, sweat equity to get on the team, but then, like, if a team doesn't do anything for, like, 2 or 3 months, even, it's like Caribou Lodge, they're like, all right, I'm out. Like, let's go. It's like, what the hell? Because when we were younger, like, when I was a kid, it was, like, you know, a lot longer of you felt, like, super loyal to those people. Even though they did, like, less for you. And then, like, every generation, it's, like...
Things kind of shift differently.
And that's just how society is. People want more for less, and, like...
Definitely.
It's just a natural transition, and, like... But anyway, so, and then you were, like, pretty much... Maybe not immediately on Unparalleled, or
no, I was like chilling for a bit, just kind of like seeing what was out there, like for like a month or two.
Anything interesting happened during that time, or not really? Nothing noteworthy.
No, not really.
It's what YoYoing, especially at the time, it was like SF wasn't where they were. So
right. No, that was like right when like Kieran was kind of plotting to join SF. So like,
It wouldn't have been the time that they were like reaching out. Like, yeah, you're super dope. Let's sponsor. They probably did that to people, but like at the time,
I didn't been, really think of SF. I didn't think of SF like that at that time for sure. Like
And then Caribou Lodge. Like if you would have asked them, I'm sure they would have been down. But you're not exactly like a Caribou Lodge player, so not that that's a bad thing.
No, right. You're right.
That old school vibe of like trying to make sure people meet the team, like Caribou Lodge is big into that
for sure
thing. So it's
I get that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was just kind of like chilling for a bit because I like just started college too, so I wasn't gonna be like I need to be sponsored by like a certain company.
That's
kind of just like hanging out. I didn't have. That must have been
really crazy times at the time for you, where it's like I'm starting school, like and then like quitting Recess is a big deal for you.
Yeah, it was a huge deal.
Yeah. And, like, we were so close at the time, whatever, but it's, like, it's still an emotional thing to go through for you as a kid.
Yeah,
and then,
for sure.
Like, so, you were just chilling for, like, maybe a month or two, and then you go on Unparalleled. Were you on Unparalleled before the end of the year? I'm almost positive you were.
I joined in December.
Okay, December? Yeah, so it was, like, 2 months, maybe.
Yep.
That's awesome. And then did you, like, even play with the YoYos or anything before? I guess you would probably play with them.
Yeah, I had a few Unparalleled YoYos. Unparalleled, like, made my favorite YoYos besides Recess. So, like, that was kind of, like, in the back of my head is, like, probably a company I would join.
And at the time, like, you had helped me with a lot of Recess stuff that, like, joining Unparalleled, you could add things.
Right, and that was my goal, too, is, like, when I join my next company, I want to pivot in a direction, like, that's not just lateral, because, like, being a sponsored player is cool, but, like, sometimes like me, I'm like I like doing a lot of stuff. I like helping out when I can, or like even just like more than helping out, like if there's an opportunity for me to benefit from something on a higher level, I'd go for it. So like with leaving Recess, it's like there are a lot of companies that I maybe could have joined, but as far as me having like stake in that company long term, it wasn't very likely. You're good. Compared to Unparalleled, so like that was kind of the move with that.
Yeah, because I mean I don't know like exact numbers, but like they were like a fledgling brand, but it wasn't like
it was a pretty small team.
Followers, whatever it is now. It's like it would have been like 11 or 12.
It was still very low key. Like
I don't even know if it was 1,000 followers at the time.
Right? Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like,
but Tyler's making a couple YoYos, and he was like really on the forefront of that. Like, oh, I'm gonna collaborate with this Chinese manufacturer,
right? Yeah,
which is funny to me because he's Japanese, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, there's a weird like racial tension between Chinese and Japanese people. So for Tyler to, I don't know if the shops would offer to him to do a collaboration, or if he would be like, yo, like let me design this YoYo with you. And
I don't remember.
They did one with...
He did the corruption, and that was like 2016, so I wasn't on the team then. FPM.
FPM, and then they did the yo-yo with
Tapio too.
Tapio.
He did do both. Yeah, that's a good point.
Tri-metal, right?
Yeah. No, it was the double rimmed. That was like the worst Unparalleled yo-yo. But like,
wasn't bad. It's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you have that opportunity to just kind of like do whatever you want to with the design, it's like exactly. So. Yeah, he was like really early on that.
I didn't really think about it like that, but yeah, he did do multiple collaborations with different Chinese companies. That's a great point.
Yeah, which at the time doesn't really, like, things like that really snowball later into companies. Like, people think back to that, and like, you know, the corruption is one of their
most popular yo-yos,
right?
For sure.
And that just happened to be, like, he probably planned it a little bit, like, okay, I'm gonna put work into this design to get it good, but like knowing that okay, this Chinese shop is gonna make a few hundred more than I ordinarily would. I'm gonna make sure it's a great yo-yo, so it gets in more people's hands, and people are stoked on it. And that does more things for Unparalleled than just for the Chinese shop.
Yeah, that was like his first mono too, so it was a pretty big deal.
Oh yeah, well, it's kind of funny how brands like for a couple of years are like, oh, we're gonna launch and make a
bimetals. Yeah.
What the hell? Like, I guess brands do that with titanium yo-yos now, and it's no different.
That's true.
People just want to make. Because a lot of the times I think people don't intend to maybe make multiple yo-yos, or if they do, it just kind of ends up being that way. So at the time, it was like, oh, I'm going to design one. I'm going to design one that I'm going to use for a long time. And then it's like people end up loving it and like, oh, I'm going to make another one.
Yeah, like, I think the thing about like him making bimetals from the start is that like, I think with pretty much every yo-yo Tyler's made, like it's either been like a signature for someone or a collaboration with a different company.
Damn,
so like it's always had like, I think almost all of them.
About that,
yeah, and I just like, I was just thinking about that in my head too, and I like, yeah, I think every yo-yo is like that. So it's kind of just like with everything he makes, he has like a distinct purpose and like really thinks about it instead of just thinking like,
just make
he
something
thinks
to make something.
A lot of companies, I think, like think more generally in terms of the market in terms of that stuff, like how like if he made if his first yo-yo was a mono metal, probably could have sold a lot more, gotten like more people's hands or whatever. But instead his first yo-yo was a signature for Yuki, the Flash, and like that was just like Yuki was like his star player at that time. Yuki wasn't really very well known at all, but it was like right before he kind of blew up. So like it was like honestly like,
and Yuki's like a very like he appreciated and he's like a really respectful guy. So like that definitely like propped him up to be like, oh, I'm gonna work harder and do better.
Right. It's all for a purpose. So like compared to like companies who like kind of just like cater to the market, he just caters like directly to his players, which is kind of cool. It's interesting too.
That's awesome. Yeah, I never thought about that, his yo-yo production breakdown where he's made so many pro models. It's probably made as many pro models some years as Yo-Yo Factory has like new pro models for people. Maybe not. A couple years he's made like 3 or 4.
Well, the thing is, because like with Unparalleled, a few of them are like repeat signatures. Like Yuki has 2 or 3 different versions of the Flash. Like I have 2 yo-yos, stuff like that. So I don't know how many players have SIGs on Unparalleled.
Still a lot.
Yeah. For like a team, it is quite a bit, and he only focuses on that, which is kind of interesting.
And now the team is pretty big.
Yeah.
How many people on the team do you know? Your team manager, I guess. Yeah.
For the U.S. people, like the European
is there
players
enough
are sponsored.
European and Japanese people to justify having European and Japanese team
there's
team
like
managers?
On Unparalleled in the U.S. there's like
6 or 7.
Closer to 10 now, like 8 to 10 maybe in the U.S. There's 2 in Europe, both of them in Czech Republic. 1 in Korea, and then 4 in Japan. So, like, Yuki's, like, in charge of the Japanese guys. It is a lot, yeah.
It's almost 20 people.
Yeah, it's like 20 people on the team.
That's a ton.
Yeah.
That's a ton.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And, like, I don't know, he's kind of grown it at a steady pace, so, because when I was on the team... And the thing is, though, with Unparalleled, not everyone is super active compared to most other yo-yo companies, I would say. Like, for example, if you go to a contest, like, you'll see, like, a ton of SF players usually, like, at the bigger stuff, like Worlds, they had, like, nearly their whole team and stuff like that. Unparalleled, it's, like, kind of different just because, like, we sponsor a few more foreign people. People who aren't fully competing. Right, yeah, for sure. So I think the perception, like every time, like, people ask, like, oh, how many people are on Unparalleled? It's usually a surprise because it just doesn't really seem like that, but it is, yeah.
So you have 2 signature models on Unparalleled, right? This is the Cognition?
That's the Recognition. So
Recognition,
that's the second one.
Cognition was the bimetal.
Yeah, yeah, Cognition was the first
Cognition, one. Okay. It's so funny. I always, I think that I'm pronouncing things wrong, and then for some reason my brain will be like, okay, like I know it's right, and I said that for like years. I called it right, like
you called it
the cognition, right? It's all as one. It's not cognition, it's cognition, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Cognition.
Yeah. You're good.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good, man.
So this is the cognition. Yeah.
That's the recognition.
Recognition. Cognition's the bimetal.
Yeah,
Recognition.
I don't have that one here, but
yeah, because you guys probably won't make that one for a while.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's probably discontinued. Yeah.
This is the Scales edition, right?
Yep.
Is this available anywhere right now? Scales
No, it's all sold out.
It's all sold out.
Yeah, the first run of Recognition is pretty much sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
There's a new run coming next month with some
and
new
then,
colors.
So, like, in comparison to the Cognition, because that was a bimetal, and it was really good, but, like, it didn't, I guess it was a weird transitionary period in the yo-yo market where bimetals were kind of going down.
Yeah,
it like really released right at that time. When
You're
it was
right.
Like,
yeah,
everything was moving to like $40, $45 monometals, and then it was
$100 bimetal, yeah,
or cheaper, yeah.
Right.
It's like, oh, was it 125 or 130?
It was 120 and 130, yeah. The thing about the Cognition is like that was like probably one of Tyler's more extreme designs for like a signature yo-yo. Like it was pretty heavy because I was like a 3A player.
How many prototypes do you guys do?
We made one proto, and then like I wanted to change the gap, and then we just used that for production. So it was pretty quick. Like I wasn't super picky.
I thought maybe you did like 3 or 4
Nah.
for some other reason that would have cost more, but
yeah, no. But yeah, like it was 120, which was like right as you said, like that was kind of like right at the point where people were questioning if that was justifiable for a yo-yo, and it was like very heavy, so a lot of people there was definitely like some sort of like not learning curve, but like adjust period to using it to where it felt super bricky at first.
Yo-yo professional. Like when you get a pro model, I think a lot of players often will try to sacrifice what they actually want to make something that's more viable for the market, and you more so, I think,
I just didn't really mind.
Taste.
Yeah, and that was
which
like,
is
whatever.
like and I think all yo-yos sell, so it's like in theory this isn't a bad idea, and it wasn't a bad idea. Like it's still sold, and it was a great yo-yo, but it's just like doesn't move like the Recognition does now, where it's like, all right, you can't keep these motherfuckers. It's
it's crazy, honestly, and like so that was that. It was like probably made it there. I think we only made one run of 100 of those, and they like sold in a few months, like 5 or 6 months, maybe, I don't know, something like that.
It's interesting. I think it also, like we were talking about earlier, plays into how people look at yo-yos less like equipment and more like a bimetal yo-yo looks like a fucking TI-83 or something, like a serious
like a thing, like it's
like what are you gonna do with that thing? And then like this is a little more approachable than like, oh wow, this is like, it's definitely a professional piece of equipment, but it's like
not as
a
detailed,
little more playable. I don't know, just the fucking steel ring.
It's, like, it's not
between that, the price point, like what people. There's so much. It's not junk marketing, but it's like the way companies hype up a bimetal. It's, like, it's gonna make you so much better, and then like that really backfires, and everyone gets one of these. And then,
it's like this is fine too, though.
It works literally just as well. And then when
For
you
real.
have people that do insane shit with plastic yo-yos, then it's like, why the hell do I even have this other yo-yo? So. And it's basically, so the Recognition is basically just like the Cognition, but without the ring.
Yeah, I made it a bit lighter too.
Yeah,
so like I wanted to like make it more.
I remember playing with it and being like, wow, like
it's a different,
it's a different for sure.
And like I think people definitely like noticed that this one was much more like kind of customer friendly, because like light yo-yos are definitely in trend right now, or sort of lighter feeling yo-yos. So like people like to be able to just do their combos quickly, stuff like that, like be able to yo-yo without having to push the yo-yo too hard. Even from a
longer than 30, 45
exactly. Even like from the casual standpoint perspective, like not many people want a yo-yo that's like super heavy that feels like you need to force it, like just when you can have something fun instead it's super light. So like that was kind of like some of the ideas I like took into consideration when we did the second one. And so for that one we did 2 prototypes. So like the first prototype had like similar to the Cognition. This one is like flat hubbed now, but it had like a nipple on here, and like I kind of wasn't feeling that, so we decided to go with the flat hub, and then that one was like good to go, so we just ended up making that. And
you guys did a lot of colors now,
I think there's
5 or 6 different colors.
Six colors,
With
for
this
the
one?
In the first run there were 6 colors, And
then this is the scaled edition that was just at Worlds that it came.
We sold it on the scale site too for a bit, but yeah, we like sold out the rest of them at Worlds pretty much,
awesome.
And then I think maybe 1 or 2 retailers may have them.
So when did the recognition come out?
They came out this April.
This April. Okay,
yeah.
So it's been like 6 months, 7 months or something.
A little no, it's like 5 or 6 months.
Awesome. Are you guys gonna run it again soon?
Yep, like the new run.
Yep.
Dude,
I was gonna say you should if you're popular yo-yo.
Yeah, no, the new run is done. So like they're
that's
ready.
awesome.
Yeah.
When does it come out?
I think next month. I want it to be out before MA States, so that's like the idea. Yeah, I'm super hyped about it. Like,
are you guys doing any cool collaborations with it or anything, or just standard?
We're doing we're doing 2 signature player editions for this one. So yeah,
anything
like
you wanna
I don't mind saying it. Sure.
Say like colorway or anything.
Yeah. So Patrick Haney used the recognition at Worlds.
I forgot he's on y'all's team.
Yeah, dude, that's my boy.
That's awesome. He's getting an edition.
Yep.
Is it like a cool color? I'm sure they're all cool.
Yeah, so we got a cool.
You know how some can be just like simple and like very personal.
Right.
Like,
yeah. No, I don't want to like
use that as the.
I don't want to give full details, but like
it's a cool one.
We have a cool fade and like a cool little art emblem on it that'll be very representative of how Patrick did at Worlds. So because Patrick
what did he place?
He got 7th in prelims, semis, and finals, all 3 rounds. So jackpot. Yeah, so we're super lucky.
Yeah. FYI, I haven't seen
it's not even that. I'm just saying like
I was gonna say
like some
lucky
thing.
A fencing round.
For like the nicest yo-yo or I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
even more ironic, right?
Yeah.
It's hilarious. And who's the other player?
So in Hyuk from Korea, he like draws. He does a ton of art stuff. Like I don't know if you've seen his drawings before, but he draws like some players.
Is he the one that did the Unparalleled
shirt?
shirt?
Yeah, the spontaneous
really
one.
Cool.
Yeah. So we have an edition for him as well, where we're doing his artwork on the yo-yo. So I'm hyped about that
He's gonna do a black yo-yo. He's gonna do a black yo-yo.
No, it's not black.
That's awesome. I feel like any artist editions kind of always want to do like a black yo-yo.
It's true.
The art the best, but
not
I'm
this one.
stoked that it's not black.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm excited for him though.
Dude, that's sick. Yeah, because like that encourages other people. Like it's great that like you get to hook up the homies and like obviously people you respect and stuff. But it's also great because like they're gonna promote your yo-yo.
Yeah,
so like it's gonna do good for your yo-yo too. Like And Patrick, I'm sure will get his own yo-yo at some point.
Of course.
Whatever. Like he's gonna deserve it, and I hope Korean homie. I don't remember his name. I know his artwork. I know him. You should be flattered. His work precedes himself. And then this other yo-yo you have with you. It's cool that these are kind of close in color. This is the Antidote, right?
Yep, and that's a collab with Tapio.
Which you guys did what was the
Elimination.
That was called the Elimination.
Yeah, it was
and it's not tri-metal.
No, it was a bi-metal yo-yo, but the rings were like there was a ring on the very outer rim, and then one kind of like closer in the middle. Of the
and they were both steel.
Yeah, so it was like an interesting playing yo-yo.
That's cool.
But yeah, that's like a collab with Tapio. It's our first like real plastic budget yo-yo.
Maybe like 25 or
20.
20.
Yeah.
Damn, 20. That's
yep,
awesome.
I'm pretty sure. I think it's just coming with unresponsive bearing, but they're finishing those up now, like getting them engraved and stuff, got the colors ready, so hopefully those are going to be out.
Is it
I think
so.
so.
On the front?
I don't know yet, honestly. Like I don't know too much about it. We'll see.
Does Tyler do a lot of the art direction throughout the yo-yos and stuff?
No, so actually Elliot does that. Elliot Ogawa is
okay.
the one like from Paralleled yo-yos, you can't really see on the camera, but like it's pretty simple, like just kind of the formula of like the name of the yo-yo and then by the signature person it's for or something. But for the
Elliot was on your team.
Yeah, he was like one of the first people on because he was like kinda on Axis before that happened. But yeah, like that's supposed to be ready.
Flow for Axis. Wasn't he on Yo-Yo Factory for real though at some point?
He was a protege.
He was a protege.
Yeah, he's Pat's protege for a bit.
I wonder if he would have stayed on Yo-Yo Factory if he was a legit Yo-Yo Factory. So you guys, I don't know if you're the first people to do the injection molded with the peeking through finger spin hub.
Yeah, someone else. I don't know if you brought that up to me or someone else did. It might have been you, but I don't know, honestly.
It's cool that I don't know, like it sets it apart from all the other plastic yo-yos. And
yeah, I didn't think.
Are you guys gonna do a clear colorway? Do you know?
Dyed
yo-yos are so hot right now.
I know. I would.
It was so funny. Like I didn't expect that. Not that I'm like. It's not like I invented it or anything, but it was just like. And we've been doing Dyed from Space for like 3 years, right? But like with the SF yo-yo, and then like Yo-Yo Sam, like a random plastic yo-yo. They both did like 100+ dyed runs. I'm like,
Yeah,
wow,
that's
like, that's
true.
crazy. That's awesome that it's
Yeah, I really wanted to do a clear, but I don't think they're gonna do one this first
or-
run. Maybe though. I'm
How
not
many,
sure.
do you know what the color spread is like? Not like the
There's-
names of the colors, but just like 3-4 different colors.
I think 5 or 6.
Wow.
5 or 6, I think.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you just gonna do kind of like Roy G. Biv?
Yeah,
like
pretty
regular?
much.
That's
yeah.
awesome though.
From what I've been told, yeah, that's the plan.
Sick. And it's all brass inserts, so like they.
I think so.
Yeah. That's sick, and they're bee blasted, so they're super.
The finish is like
easy to
grindable.
spin. Is this how the finish is gonna be on the yo-yo?
I think so.
It's not bead blasted, right? It's just
No, it's like I don't know.
The mold is unfinished, so
something like that.
I have some prototype first bases that are
right.
like this. It's interesting how this yo-yo is gonna ding because the ring is
it's so thick. Yeah.
like it's not gonna. It's an interesting ding, but it's still smooth. Like when I threw it earlier, it's still totally smooth.
Right.
I feel like this one is almost dyed in a way, but it's not. It's
yeah, because like all I was noticing that like it's kind of like a weird level of translucency with them if you look at it a certain way. Like some parts kind of look more translucent or opaque.
Yeah.
Like.
I'm excited to see the color spread of these.
Man.
It's funny how like I know it's a great yo-yo and like every yo-yo is pretty much good. Even yo-yos that aren't good now are still
like,
good.
Yeah,
for
they're
all
usable.
intents and purposes, right? So it's funny that I'm excited to see the colors. That's like
because that's what stands out about them. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
It makes sense.
It's like a great yo-yo. So it's basically like kind of an
it's like the corruption
shape,
yeah.
Like I want to say mono plastic corruption.
Right.
Though. Yep. That's awesome. Yeah, because that's one of your guys' most popular yo-yos. So 5 color spread on these bad boys.
Yeah, 5 or 6, I think.
5 or 6, okay. Yeah, it's so. Dude, I guess I'm sure you pick a lot of colorways for your yo-yos or whatever, but like, does Tyler still do a lot of the planning for production stuff? Or I was under the impression you like kind of were not taking over a lot of that, but I felt like you did a lot of the production stuff.
Not necessarily, no. Like. No, I don't. I kind of just like work with the team mainly and like do social media stuff. But like as far as yo-yo ordering and decisions, that's mainly him still. I give some ideas, but nothing more than that.
Word. That's cool. Is this blue gonna be in production?
I think so.
Okay, cool. This is pretty unique blue. It's not like
they pre-released that one.
It's like no fire, but it's pretty close to the candle. It's a good.
It kind of is.
Though.
So is this one.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
It's not like a regular opaque blue or excuse me, like a regular translucent blue or just like a navy blue or something. Sorry.
You're alright.
It's like light but not too light, but dark and like it's kind of clear.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if you guys did a clear version, if it'd be like totally translucent and you could see all the way through.
I wonder.
I mean, obviously you're gonna be able to see all the way through, but how distorted it would be? Because like with the first face, how it like. It's like if you look through a camera lens in some places where you can see the outside.
Yeah, I think like because the SF plastic is kind of like
pretty thick. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
But did they do a clear one? But they
did a clear one, but the finish is different, right? Isn't it? I don't remember.
It's not like the first base.
Yeah.
It's not clear.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so you're right. Yeah.
It's not a see-through though.
Right. It's not fully translucent, which I don't know. Sometimes I wish I would have left the first base like this. I'm like, I got like the glossy.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
They're both cool.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, it's not like a competition yo-yo.
Right.
Not that like you guys are intending that with this either, but it's like more of a serious
yo-yo.
It's
for
not
sure.
like it's not like first bases.
That's less of a fun yo-yo, more of like a capable yo-yo, I would say. I mean, it's fun too, but
for sure. So when does this come out? Do you know?
I've been told next month. So like hopefully next month.
Okay.
If not then like
sometime
sometime this fall or winter, yeah, I'm guessing.
Are you guys gonna do a cool box for it or anything? Or
I honestly don't
regular
know.
Box?
I'm not sure yet. We'll see.
It's cool. Yo-yos are like the only thing in the world that you can just like throw into.
Yeah, I wish I kind of want to like
$100. Here you go.
Yeah, it would be cool to step up the box game though, because I do think
it's
it
hard,
goes
though.
a long way. Right?
Like,
yeah, it's not really that.
Doing this in general is already such like an intensive production.
Right, of course. Yeah, it's like at what point do the boxes really matter?
Right.
Like,
yeah. Especially when you know
There's
not
not
a
really,
ton of people. Yeah, are gonna care.
Just throw them away or something.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Dylan Kowalski reviewed the first base one time, and I haven't done this in a while now just because I'm lazy and hate printing them out, and like no one's ever been like, oh, I love getting this the first base. But I was doing these like printed out little like certificates, and it wasn't even like authentication or anything. It was just saying like, here's how to take care of your first base. Go to this URL and watch this video that I still haven't uploaded to the website, and he opened his first base. He's like, what is this? Like, I guess, I don't know, Tyler signed this paper or whatever. Literally tears it in half and throws both papers to the side. And I was like, cool, thanks. I love Dylan. I love his videos and everything. It was just mad funny.
But, yeah, when people are getting a new yo-yo, they just want to see the yo-yo.
Yeah, they don't care. Yeah, if you put work into it, people will save it. But, like...
Right.
Maybe somebody would save like their first base packaging or something, but no one's like.
If they get multiple, they're not.
Yeah, like so many people that like the yo-yo are buying multiple colors, and not saving the boxes. They just don't know why. I don't blame them. They should.
Of course.
I want to even downsize on it because I know that like I could save a little bit of money and like bring the price
It is an
down
investment in getting better boxes.
Yeah. So. What's next with Unparalleled? Do you guys have another pro model coming out soon? Or...
Yeah, so we're
Yuki got third again this year, right?
Yep. So Yuki got third at Worlds.
So
he's probably something's happening. Either he'll get, and I don't honestly know. I think a new run of his yo-yo may happen very soon too.
Okay. Or he might get a new model.
Yeah, one of those two. And
his Flash sells out pretty quickly. Like as soon as it hits, it's a great yo-yo. It's $99, right?
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, working on like two or no.
I'm sure you guys have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, like
immediate future before Christmas.
Immediate future.
Other than Antidote. Between now and Christmas, next 5 to 6 months into 2020.
Yeah, if I were to guess, probably new Recog run, Antidote.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then
you're rerunning your yo-yos.
And then something for Yuki, either
Patrick, Candy Edition, and what's the Korean homie's name? Inyak Choi.
Yeah, edition of the Recog, and then
good name.
something for Yuki, probably either like a new flashback run, maybe a new yo-yo.
Does he want not maybe want a new yo-yo, but is Tyler like, oh, we should do a new yo-yo? And he's just like, oh, I don't know. Like he likes the Flash a lot.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think the flashback is probably like nearly like perfect for what he wants out of a competition yo-yo. So like otherwise.
So what are you gonna do? Make something that plays different? Then he's gonna be like, oh, I like flashback more, so I'm just gonna play with that. And sorry, you made 150, 200.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
Do you know what production plans are for Antidote as far as like? I'm sure it's going to be like an ongoing collaboration.
Yeah,
but like,
it'll be.
I'm sure like people are always hyped off plastic yo-yos. Like, do you kind of know what the campaign is going to look like yet? For like you guys planning on some videos you're making with it?
I want to I want to like make sure the campaign for it is solid. The release is good. Yeah, like I want to be able to film videos of some people before it comes out. Yeah, hopefully. Be able to promote a lot.
There's a lot of good East Coast people on Unparalleled.
Yeah, Unparalleled is mainly an East Coast team in the U.S. It's me, Abel, Nick, Oliver.
Who's the Japanese kid in New York?
Oh, Issei. Issei's, I think he's in Japan right now.
Oh. But did he move back, or is he just
I think he's gonna come back in a few months or something like that. I don't know. But
regardless, who else was it? Issei, Nick, Abel, Nick,
Oliver.
Oh yeah, Nick Oliver, or not Nick Oliver.
Nick D.
Nick D. My bad. Nick D.
Oliver too.
Oliver, yeah. You could just basically go to New York one time and get Nick to
happen,
come
honestly,
and stay for a weekend at Mark's crib in New York and just film Unparalleled.
Yeah, but
that'd be hilarious.
I want to make stuff happen before it comes out.
Awesome.
And then I'm thinking it'll be made again in the future after this first.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. It's one of those things that it's hard to gauge. Like even SF, I don't think they really
thought too far ahead with it when they're making, because it's a big investment,
a
big
fault,
risk. Right?
No,
of course not.
Yeah, exactly.
You just really don't know how it's gonna pan
and
out.
You don't want to have
sense.
the next one lined up. Like I made a lot of first base versions I could sell them at schools.
Right.
But like
it makes sense.
That was the only reason. And then by November, December of that year, all the ones that I ordered were gone, and it's like everything that SF put in stores is gone.
Right. Yeah, they're all sold out.
Like,
which
I don't know
crazy.
if they did a little restock yet. If they're going to, I know they have new colors coming on the horizon from some videos I've seen.
Yeah.
But like, still, so
it's a wild process. For
sure. Have you guys thought about like any sort of team kind of stuff in the future to do with them, or because it'd be cool like with first base, it's super expensive with patent print. If you guys are gonna like laser engrave these, you could easily do like team editions.
That would be cool.
It would be really cool. Yeah.
Maybe that's on the table. We'll see.
Yeah, it's way.
Like I said, or like
you can't plan like how it's gonna do. So like,
I feel like it's not.
It's in it. Like you have everything aligned to do for it to do great. It's like right before Christmas. It's gonna be in stores right before Christmas. Right. Like it's gonna ship in time for Christmas. Everyone to get it in time for Christmas.
Yeah.
Like Yuki did great at Worlds. Like,
Right.
everything is lining up, but it's like, you just never know. So you're just sit in
Anything
stores,
can
and then it's
happen.
like, shit, alright, cool, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's a collab with Tapio, so, like, it's not just for Unparalleled people. So, like, if we were to do signature editions for Unparalleled people, it's probably someone on Tapio that should get a signature edition too, maybe. Like, I don't know.
Really?
Well, I mean, I don't know. But, like, that's just probably stuff
like,
that...
really
Right, and that's how people...
marquee event to do with this yo-yo.
I mean, right, but it's still a collaboration yo-yo, though, but you know what I mean? Like, so that's the thing, and that's what I like...
might be a little too nice in life. Don't feel out to do things like that. That's really too nice. That's nice of you to think that way, but I hear you. Did they say that to you?
No, I don't know. I'm just thinking that in my head. Like,
yeah. It's a nice yo-yo, though, so it's like, I'm sure it'll sell well. Like, if people like the corruption, right?
Yeah,
That was what it's based off. People like that yo-yo, this is half the price.
Right.
It's like, people like plastic because it's like a toy.
Yeah,
so.
And you get like the $20 of use.
And there's gonna be people that like, if they really like the corruption, buying all 5 or 6 colorways is literally gonna be
the price of a bimetal. Yeah, like
seriously, you should talk to Tyler about doing a deal with Andre to sell 5 or 6 out many at once, because people would buy all of them. Like, people drop that much for a metal yo-yo.
That's true.
I like these a lot, so
you're right.
I'm gonna buy a bunch of them. I did it with the fruit series. But
that's true. Yeah, good point.
So yeah, what else is on the forefront for Unparalleled? I'm trying to think. We talked about the yo-yos you guys are doing, and then
some new people coming soon.
New people coming soon.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I counted that into the numbers when I was thinking, so it's not like
you what?
When we were talking team numbers.
Oh, you were counting in your head ahead of time. Yeah. That's really funny.
So like. Probably
good for you for thinking ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess like probably.
When is that going to be announced? That's cool.
So one person in the U.S., one person in Asia.
New people or someone like not a veteran player, but someone who's known. That's
both of them
cool.
have never been sponsored before.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
So I'm pretty stoked.
That's exciting.
Yeah, like they're two very.
Because in America, the scene everywhere.
There's not many good unsponsored, or not. I don't want to say not many good unsponsored.
I was gonna say the opposite, where it's like I don't know. I guess back in my day, you could count that on like one hand, and now it's like 20, 25 people.
Yeah,
I think that are sponsorable.
Right. I think the thing with the U.S. yo-yo state now is that things are getting very homogenized. So like it's hard for kids to be convinced to go out of their way to have their own style or like yo-yo in that way. So like that's who I like specifically looked out for. Just like someone with their own sort of like style.
But you gotta be on it early and like really, it's like you're an A&R for a record label and being like, all right, like this person isn't so great now, but like their style is good, so I can see them in a year from now being really good if they stick with it or whatever.
Yeah, the trajectory is there.
That's more so because like I couldn't even begin to think of who it could possibly be. Because like you said, the immediate 15 people you think of is that were like, oh, who's up next to get sponsored? Most of them were already sponsored or like brand new and fresh on a team or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's funny. I was like talking to a bunch of guys about putting Theodore Munoz on the team, or not Theodore Munoz.
He's on Throw Revolution right now.
Is he?
Yeah, he's sponsored by Marcus.
When did he get sponsored by Marcus?
Earlier this year.
Who's the West Coast? Justin Dower.
Yeah.
I was telling everyone on the team, I'm like, yo, I think I want to put Justin on the team. And they're like, really? Like, he doesn't really fit the, like, mold or anything. I'm like, fuck the mold. Like, who cares? Like, just put him on the team. Like, he's so good. Like, he's got, like, a cool, like, family supporting him. Like, it's all good things you want to associate with a player. And then, like, before I could even, like, offer to be like, yo, like, let me send you a box here. You got from Duncan.
Yeah.
Whatever. And I was like, oh, good for him, though. Like, that's a good...
Duncan's sponsoring a lot of the new up-and-coming U.S. kids.
Exactly,
like, they have a huge next generation team, and that's dope. Like,
I forget
it's kind of the
have
future
such
of
a
yo-yoing.
big next generation
Yeah,
team.
dude.
Because people fall off the map so quickly in yo-yoing, you know, like...
It makes sense to plan for the future.
It does, but when you've been yo-yoing for so long, like, you know how... I don't want to say it easy it is to become jaded, but, like, when you invest in someone, or, like... Justin Dower, someone that we've known about for, like, 2 years now or something, right? And it's, like, 2 years ago would have been, like... That's really when you should have sponsored him or whatever, but it's like, all right, cool, like this kid's pretty good, like let's wait a little while.
It's a mix between waiting for something to happen and like realizing his potential.
Right,
yeah,
and like a year later he's like good and starting to bubble up in contest placings and be more active and like get his social media stride, and now he's like pedal to the metal, balls to the walk, killing it, and like
he made world semis, like
And then it's like, of course, Duncan is like, all right, cool, like, we'll sponsor immediately. And
it's like a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly. But it's good because it's like, yo-yoing is really at a time when, like, not a lot of teams are going to do a lot for you beneficially, like, as far as paying for you to get to contests or, like, giving you opportunities. I've really thought recently hard about sponsorship, and I think it's a really great way to look at it. Like, being sponsored is being put in position to do things. Like,
absolutely, it's like a test.
Exactly, and when you want to do things, like Canning's a perfect example.
Right.
Like, Canning's been on the
He
grind
popped
for
off.
fucking years now, and it's like he quit a huge sponsor to get on this little brand who's gonna pay more attention. Did he have a promo? No. He got
like an edition of a yo-yo one time.
Like, to like get to Worlds or something. That wasn't like an official edition. Like his recognition is gonna be. So it's like Canning's a perfect example where it's like he just kept going at it, and it's like now finally he's in this position where he's making it work, and
it's I've like had a great time kind of like seeing how things pan out with that. Like, I think the biggest example out of like all the people I've added on Unparalleled recently is like Nick, because like Nick has been like literally people have been saying Nick is the future of yo-yoing since 2012.
But and he's so young,
and he never got sponsored. Like he's always been young. He's like finally like 17 or 18, and like we added him. Like he got like third at NER this year. He made Nats finals. Like he's really starting to like kind of blossom, and it's like awesome to see.
Yeah, and when you get sponsored, it really, for a player like Nick, or who's the last person we were talking about?
Kenny,
yeah. Like, it really, like, Kenny is, you said he uses your Yo-Yo World, right? Great example. Did he ever play 7th when he was on Yo-Yo Factory?
No.
And he was in position and, like, getting outshined by Gentry and all these people, and now he's, like, a main player. It's not that he, like, made a lateral move or, like, a negative move or anything. Like, he's in a better position now.
Those moves to smaller teams have been, like, very, like, frequent.
Instrumental in, no pun intended, but instrumental in, and getting people in new positions and putting them on, because it's, like, it's all about the professionalism and what the people put into it. So someone like Kenny, when he has this, he's basically been campaigning for himself forever now, and now he's associated with Scales. Looks like we're about to wrap up. We haven't even talked about fucking Scales. But, like, I mean, he's been doing all these things forever and, like, building himself up, and, like, now that he's finally in a position to get these things, the weight of them matters so much more than, like, when he was on Yo-Yo Factory, and like that's, you know, it sucks to say this, but like that's why Ben didn't really do a lot of it, because it's like he wasn't. If he would have gotten 7th 1 year olds, I'm sure he'd be next in line to get a pro model now. But he needed that weird.
If Pat were on Yo-Yo Factory at Worlds this year and he got 7th, there would have been like Gentry in first, Evan in second. If Patrick were on Yo-Yo Factor and he got 7th this year, it's like there's still Gentry who won. There's Evan. There's Nate. Like there's 3 people in the U.S. alone that are still like.
They're gonna have to rerun all their Yo-Yos again.
Yeah, and like
Shutter already has been rerun like 2 times or a time since Worlds. Yeah, or they probably had one on the bank that came out right after Worlds with the laser artwork, and then they're working on another one or whatever. But and then Nate's Yo-Yo, of course, is going to get rerun. I'm sure he's going to get a new pro model as soon as possible. Right. I didn't even think about that. That's a great point. Yeah.
And like for Unparalleled, it's like there's Yuki, and Yuki's been the top player since the beginning.
So
and then like that's kind of a given. Then Patrick is next up, and then Chuyoung got 8th this year too. So it's like 3 people up in the top 10.
He's Japanese, right?
He's Chinese.
Oh, Chinese. My bad.
All good.
I was apologizing past the 3rd wall for the public. Wasn't a racial thing.
No,
it was,
of course not.
I don't know. I'm not all the players.
Yeah, no, I
Congratulations on getting 8th at Worlds. You're sick, I'm sure. That's crazy to think about too, though, because like no one in China is He's probably not the highest placing Chinese player
in the past decade.
Really?
Like the only other person to place that high is Lu Yicheng, and he did it like over 10 years ago.
That's funny. I didn't think that was 10 years ago. Yeah, which we talked about in the last podcast.
With Curdy, you did.
Yeah. I still can't wait for Jake to be. I'll tell you that story after I turn the camera off.
You told me that story.
Oh, I love that story because it's so
it's
jarring.
Wild.
Yeah, it is a wild story. Like. I'm laughing like so hard internally just thinking about
people are gonna be watching these like, man, like what's this story? Like and being sneaked in 2 episodes. Like
Jake, as soon as he saw the first episode, he's like, I want to do an It Goods episode, and I want to do it like raw as fuck. Like all my struggles, I want to put in it, and I'm like, yeah. And I was like, dude, I wanted to talk to you about this thing. So like, I'm glad that you like really hit me up about this, but like. out of all the other shit he's been through in his life, I know that the Liu Cheng story is like he's just gonna breeze by that like it's nothing, and people are gonna be watching the video like, what did you just say?
Yeah, dude, that's man,
it's mad funny. So what other Unparalleled stuff do you want to talk about? That's dope that you guys are giving 2 editions to people that like really are doing big things for Unparalleled right now. I feel like in yo-yoing, that stuff is so contrived and arbitrary now, where it's like, oh, you're just present, so we're just gonna give you something and hopefully you stay. And like, I don't know. In skateboarding, Nike is like a pinnacle of footwear sponsorship now, and like to get a pro model on Nike is fucking hard.
Yeah,
because it's gonna be millions of dollars in tooling, a ton of planning, and even like all that shit. A lot of the times it's recycled tooling. It's like pick all these different parts of different sneakers, apply them to your sneaker. And like we already have all the tooling, so it's still going to be expensive, but not as expensive if you get a completely original profile. So luckily in yo-yo we don't need to spend $1 million on molds to make them. But dude, that's sick that you guys are doing a plastic yo-yo soon. I wonder if this is gonna like SF and Unparalleled are really the only 2 brands I can think of that are in position to make plastic yo-yos. But
yeah, like Brandon Voot did one with Magic Yo-Yo.
I forget about that, but yeah, he did one, and
he's
then
like
Jeff
a solo
did
guy.
a Skyvoot too. But both of those I feel like are
it's kind of different.
Yeah, and like we were talking about earlier with Tyler, the way he pivoted with the collaborations, like he really used them to his advantage. And, like both those brands, like FPM, that's now become Yo-Yo Friends, and like Top Yo, which like started as not being such a crazy big brand, now is like
making a lot of yo-yos.
They make a ton of yo-yos, and they're all really good, and like they're setting. I don't want to say setting the trend, but like
they're doing a lot of new design stuff. If you look at their yo-yos,
the design too. I didn't think about that. They did that one new yo-yo it
has the rim like.
Is it an aluminum rim with a stainless steel? or aluminum hub with a stainless steel rim.
Something like that. Yeah. There's the aluminum hub with the stainless steel body.
Have you ever seen Nathan Chrissie's pro model on yo-yo?
The SR71.
No, before that even. I don't know what the SR71 looked like, but he had a yo-yo before that called the Sirius. Which had a plastic hub with aluminum rings, like all yo-yo jammies. But the aluminum rings were like, imagine if the plastic hub was just
like that little part.
Yeah,
and
it
then
was
the
like
aluminum was like the rest.
Not even. It was like 1.5 inches in diameter, and the whole yo-yo is like 2.5 inches in diameter. Yeah, it was fucking crazy.
It's funny.
Was the SR71 similar? Did it have a big rim on it?
I feel like it did. Yeah.
I totally forgot about that yo-yo. I didn't keep up with Yo-Yo Jam the last fucking.
10 decade.
Like. 10 decade that they were alive. Yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't that long because I stopped playing with them like I told you in like 2006, and they were about like 2014 or 2015, whatever. But it's late as fuck, y'all. It's like Colin's yawning. It's very, very late. What time is it? 11:30. Oh my gosh! I keep asking you about new Unparalleled things. Are y'all doing a T-shirt soon or anything? Shit.
Dude, I don't think so.
About the goods. No? Okay. So all those yo-yos we talked about, those should be out before 2020. Yeah, definitely your yo-yo will be out. Definitely Antidote will be out.
Yep.
And then anything else coming up for the rest of Unparalleled the rest of the year? New team members, we talked about that.
Yeah, maybe one new signature by the end of the year, but I don't know how likely that is.
Okay. Are you guys like prototyping it still, or?
Like just ordering prototypes, so I haven't gotten them yet.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's not likely.
It's funny. Yeah, okay. It's for players in particular or something. It's hilarious because sometimes if it's for a particular person,
it's like
and
it's gonna take a while.
It's either gonna take a while. The opposite. The first one's gonna be like, "This is sick," and then you have to be a little more mature and be like, "Actually, maybe we should change this. Like, try another one." And then you're like, "Okay, cool." The other person's like, "All right, like, yeah, you're right." And then you order another one. It's like, "Okay, you're right. Like, we should change it this way." Like, yeah, okay, I just thought so. Damn, that's dope. I'm excited for this plastic yo-yo.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, so I have one funny Unparalleled story I want to tell you about Blaze Becker and then Joey Serrano. And then when did Blaze get on Unparalleled?
Like May 2018.
May 2018, so like spring 2018.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Joey was designing, I think you said it was probably the clapback at the time, yeah. Which is funny, you weren't even on recess, so you know what I was designing at the time. That's how close of friends we are. But anyway, so Joey's designing this yo-yo for me, and like we were just talking about it. He hadn't actually designed it yet. And then you added Blaze to the team, and Tyler Shea, the owner of Unparalleled, hit him up and had asked him, or just kind of like told him probably like, hey, like Blaze is gonna quit, too sick for Unparalleled, like I don't know. I never saw the text or anything.
Yeah,
I don't know what he said, and like I'm sure it wasn't anything personal or anything like that. But like Joey hits me up afterwards, and I guess Tyler probably hit him up on like Facebook Messenger or something. And he just didn't even look at Tyler Shea's last name to think who it was, just saw Tyler. And then he messages me, like texts me. I swear I told you this story.
You never told me this.
Really? Wow.
No.
Yeah, Joey, he messaged me and he's like, hey man, like, I just want to tell you, like, it's kind of fucked up what you did, just like taking Bleez from Too Sick like that. Like, you could have at least asked. Like, I know like he's really good and he would eventually quit anyway, but like, I don't know, it just kind of fucked up. And like it was at like 10 or 11 at night, and like I was sleeping over some chick's dorm room, so like I was out real early because we were partying, and like I wake up the next morning, and like he had texted me at like 10 or 11, and I hadn't even read it because I already passed out. But then like wake up the next morning at like 10 or 11 again. But like when I wake up, he had sent me another follow-up text where I even responded to the first one, and it was just like, oh man, my bad, I didn't know which Tyler it was. And I hit him back and I'm like, dude, like, I'm sorry, I had a crazy night last night. Like, I totally would have, like, replied and told you it wasn't me. And, like, I'm sorry, man. He's like, nah, you're good. I probably am overreacting anyway. Like, he was totally cool about it. And you could tell even if he would have hit up Tyler. I think he didn't even reply to Tyler's message. I think he genuinely thought it was me.
Yeah.
So that's why he texted me and said, he's like, you can't even, he didn't say it's like, you can't even fucking hit me up on, he didn't say that part.
Right, but still, he's probably thinking.
It was just such a funny message.
That's hilarious.
And then to read the follow-up is the immediate other message, like, dude, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I thought it was the other Tyler, and, like, you were him, and he was you, and, like, my bad, man. And, like, I shouldn't have reacted that way anyway if it was the other Tyler. Like, totally my bad. And I was like, dude, like, seriously. Even if it happened last night, it would have been a sweat if I would have actually been, like, cognizant to read it. But it was just mad funny.
That's hilarious, dude.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't think that's the only real funny Unparalleled story I have. Other than telling Yuki that he has to eat ass if he wins Worlds.
Mission failed, we'll get him next time.
Yeah. Well, he didn't fail. Getting the third is no laughing matter.
Of course not.
Especially when Evan's doing everything he can in the world to campaign to win that motherfucker, and Gentry already was. Gentry, I was surprised when he won. Not like in a bad way, but just like because Evan was so heavily like.
I don't think people were expecting it. Yeah.
No, so when Gentry did pretty well, it was like. I was surprised, like, when he won, I was like...
Yeah, good for him. Like, I was happy too. Right,
yeah, me too. It's sad, but it's also nice when... I don't want to say sad. It's sad from a yo-yoing perspective when there's only one company, like Yo-Yo Factory, that really has the resources and wherewithal to put the funding and... Like, when Gentry wins Worlds, it's a big deal when it's on Yo-Yo Factory. But, like, when someone on another team wins
if
Worlds,
Yuki were to win, it would have been... We probably wouldn't have been able to take as much advantage of the situation. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you guys would have remade as Yo-Yo or whatever, but, like,
but Gentry, you can, like, go to different countries or, like, stuff like that.
Yeah, or, like, just that little bit of extra clout they have when they send out a press release, they'll get picked up by, like, an MTV outlet or something.
Right, stuff like that, too. It's just more relevance.
It's just good for yo-yoing.
For sure.
And, like, yeah. I wasn't saying that about Yuki specifically. I think it would be dope if Yuki won. Then he'd have to eat ass, you know?
That's why.
He'd also be world champion, and then he'd have to eat ass. Who knows? Yuki probably already eating ass out here. They do some shit in Japan, man. I didn't do anything in Japan, but they're probably eating ass. They're definitely early adopters. Early adopters of Walkman, cell phones, and analingus. So, what else? Anything else about Unparalleled before we sign off?
I think that's about it for now.
Rerun of Recognition, Antidote,
Yep.
New team members.
Coming soon.
New prototype, a new pro model, but not sure when that's coming out. That's a heavy schedule for the next 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, that's why I was like, it's probably not going to happen in the next 3 or 4 months.
Because by the end of the year, like, we're basically already through September.
Yep.
Like, I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, it's like almost October.
Like, I turned around and it was the 15th the other day. Today's the 21st.
Right?
It's like,
yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, and the next week it's going to be basically October, and then, October, November, December, 3 months. Yeah, you guys are going to release 2 more yo-yos in that store. That's crazy to think about. One of them was a plastic yo-yo.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, man, work on that campaign.
That's the thing. Like, if there's anything else, right? Yeah, if there's anything else planned, it's just I need to make a lot of videos for people.
Yeah. But like you said, luckily they're all on the East Coast.
Yeah,
and it's like
we'll make it happen.
Yeah, it'll be good. And I'll be in New York a lot, so maybe we can do something. I don't know.
Let's go.
Yeah, we'll do that scales episode we were talking about
Mm-hmm.
for a single serving goods episode. Single serving of the goods.
Single serving.
Call it a soft goods episode.
Soft goods.
Soft goods. Half-mass goods.
Hell yeah.
Dude, thank you so much for being my third guest.
Dude.
I hope it wasn't too boring.
It was awesome. This is one of the most interesting conversations I've had in a while. I had a great time.
Yeah, thank you for leading it and being a good guest. I didn't have to struggle to be like, not that anyone else did that, but just like, you know. I'm sure in the future I'm going to have
It'll
some
be
dry
tough.
ones where I'm going to have to be struggling to be
Yeah.
like, so, what's your favorite McDonald's thing? Pull out my Graham Stellar MC questions.
So,
I love you,
we
Graham.
went on a taco. Like,
What's your favorite Chipotle order? We love you, Graham. I feel so guilty when we record these now. Anytime I like low key diss someone, even though it's something I would say to
Right.
Graham to his face,
but
it's
to
like
other people, you're just
yeah,
like, wow.
the
like,
inflection he knows. Yeah, to other people, because Graham knows I'd be just kidding. But I don't want
Right.
anyone to think I hate Graham or I'm making a joke about it. Like, I
Right.
think he's a dope MC, and like he just
Of
makes
course.
that joke about Chipotle all the time. So it's like, you gotta get this.
Absolutely, dude.
You gotta get this verbal assault real quick on my podcast.
That clickbait, man.
Yeah, clickbait. That's gonna be the title of
Graham Stellar
Stellar
certified.
Graham Stellar Chipotle. Thank you again, everyone, for watching. I don't even know how long this thing's gonna be. Normally, with every episode, I have a good interpretation of how long it's gonna be. Not this one, but so hopefully it's not too long.
We'll see.
I know it's a lot of yo-yo talk, but it was good yo-yo talk.
Absolutely.
I feel like this one was really well paced. We talked about a lot of shit, even though
Yeah.
it was very dense. So.
For real.
Dude, thank you again.
Thank you, too.
I'll make sure all the links are in the bio for all of your freestyles, and then also all the yo-yos coming up. Thank you again, everyone, for watching the goods. We will see you next time.
Peace.
I'm glad that was a quick sign off. I didn't have to like Nardwar it and be like.
It's funny
See,
as hell,
you're
right? Yeah.
done. You're like, all right, we're gonna wrap this shit up, right?